The March 24th Birmingham City Council meeting is called to order. The March 24th City Council meeting is called to order. We have our invocation by Reverend Tony Cooper, Executive Director of Jimmy Hill Mission, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilor Kim Rafferty, District 2. Please stand.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, as we bow our head, we acknowledge you as God, our Creator, our Sustainer, our Provider, our Protector, our Rescuer, our Redeemer, our Deliverer, the source of all that is good, and from whom all blessings flow. Hallowed be thy name. We give you praise. Father, we thank you for the safety and security of yesterday and last night. We thank you for the gift of another day. We thank you for the blessings that accompany it and the opportunities that will present themselves to us. We even thank you for obstacles and challenges that may present themselves. Father, help us to respond to them in a way that is positive and allow you to help us work through those. Father, I pray for our country, our state, our county, our city, and our communities. Father, help us always to remember that sin is a reproach to any people, but righteousness exalts a nation. Father, help us indeed to repent of our sin and to return to you so that we can be one nation again under God. Father, I thank you for our mayor and our city council. Father, I pray for them, pray that they will lead with integrity, that you will grant them wisdom and courage and compassion and conviction as they make decisions that affect our city and we, the citizens. Dear God, I pray for the meeting today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, if you would call the roll, and for any of those that are standing along the walls, please find a seat in the audience.
Okay.
Any of those that are standing along the walls, please find a seat in the audience.
Councilmember Abbott. Councilmember Hoyt.
Present.
Councilmember Lundy. Councilmember Parker.
Good morning.
Good morning. Councilmember Rafferty.
Present.
President Pro Tem Roberson.
Present.
Councilmember Scales. Councilmember Tyson. President Austin.
Present, thank you. We have a motion on the minutes from November 18th through the 25th.
Mr. President, I'd like to move on the minutes.
Second.
Oh, voting should be open. Councilmember Hoyt.
Yeah, I don't have it up.
How would you like to vote? I'll get it.
Yes.
For you. Okay, thank you. Parker.
Oh, I got the John. Okay.
Okay, that vote should be up, Mr. President.
All right, that item passes. Let's move on with the, do we have any nominations of boards and agencies, Mr. Clerk?
No, sir.
All right, let's move on with the consent agenda.
Okay. Consent agenda starts on page 2 with items 1 through 3 and item 5 on page 2. Page 3, you have item number 8 on consent. Then we skip over to page 10. Item number 9 is on consent. Page 11, you have items 10 and 11 on consent. Page 12, item number 15 is on consent. Page 13, we have items 17 through 19 on consent. Page 14, we have items 20 as well as 22 and 23 on consent. Page 15, we have items 24 through 27 on consent. On page 16, we have items 28 through 32 on consent. On page 17, we have items 33 through 38 on consent. Page 18, we have items 39, 40, and item number 42 on consent. And I think that concludes the consent agenda. And we'll get to it, I'm sorry. What number was that, Andre? Item 30, Mr. President, we need to withdraw it all together.
Item 30,
Yes, sir.
all right. Do any council members want to add or remove anything from the consent agenda?
You said item 30?
Item 30.
Just be withdrawn.
Okay. All right.
All right, any council members wish to add or remove anything from the consent agenda? Oh, wait, no, we're not taking that up. All right.
Mr. President,
Counselor Abbott?
I did have one item on page 11, item 12, to be placed on consent.
I object.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, then I won't ask for item 13 then.
number 12 is gonna be withdrawn anyway.
Okay,
12 is withdrawn.
Well,
Okay.
then
Yeah.
13 will be withdrawn too, is that
No.
correct?
No, it's probably different.
Yeah, 12 just came back exactly like it was deferred.
Oh, 13 replaces 12.
Right.
Okay. All right. Are there any other council members wish to add or remove any item from the consent agenda? I have, on page 3, item 7, we can add that to consent. It's just amending a resolution that was already adopted February the 10th. So, no, if we don't have any objections, we can add that to consent. And then, yeah, that was, oh, and then on, page 13, item 16. We don't have any objections to that, we can add that to consent.
Mr. President,
Yes.
item,
Is this to the item I just,
no, item 14 on page 12, that's just to fix the ordinance due to a clerical error.
yeah,
So I was going to, I know it's a item of permanent
operation,
operation, but it seems to me we could consent that.
we can. Mr.
I don't know
Clerk,
how
we
you, I don't know
still
how you
have to
do
read it.
both at the same time. That's
All
the
right, so
problem.
we'll just leave it off consent. The next item on page 13, item 16. And then on page 14, item 21.
You said item 21?
On page 14. It's a, approving a purchase for Microsoft software.
Okay.
We've already voted on it, but we've got to, there's some things, I think the person that we're purchasing from has changed. All right. Are there any members of the public who wish to speak to an item that has been placed on the consent agenda and marked as a public hearing? If there are any members of the public who wish to speak to the consent agenda, an item that's been placed on the consent agenda marked as a public hearing, please approach the podium. Councilor Hoyt, you have?
Yes, and maybe if somebody could explain item 15 to me.
Judge?
Yes.
We, yeah.
Counselor, item 15 is it's a matter relating to a contract with the Battle Law Firm to assist the law department in connection with the work that will have to be done in preparation for War Games 2021. Is there any particular question?
Well, I just wanted to know the scope of work.
The scope of the work will develop as we are proceeding through the contract. We know that we have to have a contract between the city initially and the local organization, the city and the World Games organization. And then we think that, or we've been given pretty strong indication that as we proceed through the process, the scope of those services are going to expand significantly because there are a lot of things that we're called upon to provide in connection with the games.
Okay. Thank you. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Mr. Clerk, we also want to add item 41 on page 18. And then on page 22, items 46, 47, 48, 49, and 51. (46, 47, 48, 49, and 51).
And maybe we can bring it back. There were 3 individuals from the Park and Rec. Mr. Moore, I think it was 3 people that were left off of travel requests for the.
We can
bring it back. Okay.
Okay. I object to 41.
All right. Okay. All right. Mr. Clerk, we're ready to vote on the consent agenda.
I'd like to make a motion, Mr. President, to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Roberson. Abbott. Okay, voting should be open. Ah, it should be. Now. Councilmember Lundy, thank you. You're not in? Okay. If you vote no, I gotta read everything. Abstain? I'll take it off of consent. Mr. President, just.
Move to reconsider.
Well, hold
He
on.
hadn't declared anything.
We hadn't, yeah, I hadn't done
Oh,
anything.
you didn't have declared?
Item 13 is not on the consent. No.
Okay. So, is she in the computer? Okay. That vote should be up, Mr. President.
All right. The consent agenda passes. Mr. Clerk, call up items 43, 44, 45, and 50.
All right. 43. Item 43, which is on page 19, a resolution approving the following expense accounts: Cheryl Kidd, Council Administrator, City Council, Montgomery, Alabama, $488.30, February 11th through the 13th, 2015, to attend the Alabama City County Management Association 2015 Winter Conference. Don Lupo, Director, MOCA, Mayor's Office, New York, $2,115.74, January 27th through the 29th, 2015, to attend United Nations meeting with Columbia School of Law, Institute of Human Rights. William Parker, Counselor, City Council, New York, $1,614.24, January the 14th and the 15th, 2015, to attend Foundation Partners Clinton Global Initiative meeting. William Parker, Counselor, City Council, Atlanta, Georgia, $714.13, February the 4th through the 6th, 2015, to attend Environmental Protection Act meeting. William Parker, Counselor, City Council, Atlanta, Georgia, $534.03, February the 12th and the 13th, 2015, to attend Environmental Protection Act meeting. Brittany Sharp, Director of Public Information, City Council, Atlanta, Georgia, $455.79, January 20th through the 23rd, 2015, to attend District 4 Environmental Protection Act Federal Interagency meeting. Sheila Tyson, Counselor, City Council, Hollywood, Florida, $909.92, February the 25th through March the 1st, 2015, to attend Black Women's Roundtable Strategic Planning Retreat. And you said 44? I'm sorry, Mr. President. 44? 44, a resolution approving the following advanced expense accounts. Jonathan Austin, Council President, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council Retreat. Melissa Crabtree, Public Information Officer, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26 through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Jacqueline French, Committee Assistant, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26 through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Camilla Gray, Committee Assistant, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26 through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Izola Hall, Committee Assistant, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $173.10, March 26 through the 27th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Connie Horn, Records Management, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $173.10, March 26 through the 27th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Stephen Hoyt, Council, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26 through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Courtney Hunter, Committee Assistant, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26 to 28 to 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Kimberly Jenkins, Committee Assistant, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26 through 28, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Cheryl Kidd, Council Administrator, City Council, Prattville, Alabama. That amount should be $122.36, and that's for the per diem. So that resolution should be changed to make the per diem $122.36. March the 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Melville Langford, Committee Assistant, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March the 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Darrell Lee, Committee Assistant, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March the 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Marcus Lundy, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March the 26th through the 28th, 2010, to attend City Council retreat. Chaz Mitchell, Deputy Administrator, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March the 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Kiara Morrow, Assistant Public Information Officer, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Marcus Odell, Committee Assistant, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. William Parker, Councilor, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Jose Perry, Committee Assistant, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Kimberly Rafferty, Councilor, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Kimberly Rafferty, Council, City Council, Montgomery, Alabama, $730.28, April 7th through the 9th, 2015, to attend the Alabama League of Municipalities Municipal Legislative Advocacy and Alabama Transit Symposium. James Roberson, Councilor, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $173.10, March the 26th through the 27th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. LaShonda Scales, Councilor, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March the 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Christopher Scott, Committee Assistant, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $173.10, March 26th through the 27th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. Brittany Sharp, Director of Public Information, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $219.10, March 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. And Sheila Tyson, Councilor, City Council, Arlington, Virginia, $748.53, March 25th through the 29th, 2015, to attend fourth Annual Black Women's Roundtable Women of Power National Summit. And we just want 45 as well. I'm sorry, Mr. President, 45? 45. Item 45, a resolution approving the following advance expense accounts. Brenda High, Administrative Assistant to the Mayor, Mayor's Office, Tampa, Florida, $2,075.16, April 23rd through the 26th, 2015, to attend the National Forum for Black Public Administrators, Leadership Forum 2015. Jarvis Patton, Chief of Staff, Mayor's Office, Prattville, Alabama, $106.72, March 26th through the 28th, 2015, to attend the City Council retreat. And 50 as well? Okay. A resolution approving the following advance expense accounts. Tanika R. Harrell, Administrative Assistant, Mayor's Office, Hartford, Connecticut, $1,566.60, May the 16th through the 20th, 2015, to attend the 69th Annual International Institute of Municipal Clerks Conference. Brian Wallace, Public Information Office, City Council, Prattville, Alabama, $142.75, March 26th and the 27th, 2015, to attend City Council retreat. And Kimberly Weldon, Administrative Assistant Mayor's Office, Hartford, Connecticut, $1,566.60, March the 16th through the 20th, 2015, to attend the 69th Annual International Institute of Municipal Service Conference.
All right, Counselor Abbott?
Yes, I wanted to ask that on item 44, that Darrell Lee's name be struck from that list.
Okay. Take that off.
Mr. President?
That's all.
Counselor Abbott?
Where is it?
Yes, also on the same item, I'd like to remove Marcus Odell from the list.
Okay. All right, we have a mover and a second.
Mr. President, move the items.
Second.
All right, we're ready to vote, Mr. Clerk.
Who's the second? I'm sorry.
Parker?
Thank you. All right, voting should be open.
That should be on items 43, 44, 45, and 50.
Councilmember Hoyt. And I'm missing Councilmember Tyson. She went out. Okay. That vote should be up, Mr. President.
All right, that item passes, one no vote from Counselor Abbott. Call up item 13, Mr. Clerk.
Item 13. Give me 1 second here. Item 13 is on page 12. An ordinance to further amend the capital fund budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2015 by transferring $140,553.98 from Oxmoor Valley School Access Improvements, $1,100,000 from Shuttlesworth Vehicular Pedestrian Bridge, $1,100,000 from Cotton Avenue Street Realignment, $849,315.96 from Crossplex Harris Arena, $800,000 from Crossplex Warm-Up Pool, $1,010,130.06 from funds available, and appropriating $5 million to intermodal facility. The city, to the extent allowed under IRS regulation, is subject to approval from bond council, will seek to reimburse the Birmingham Fund upon issuance of the general obligation bonds tentatively proposed for 2015.
All right, do we have a mover and a second?
Mr. President, I move approval.
Second.
Abbott, Roberson. Any speakers? Counselor Hoyt?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President. I'm just concerned about our $800,000 that's designated for our crossplex. And is there any plan to replace this money? Certainly the warm-up pool is necessary for the crossplex. If someone could explain that.
Mr. Mayor, you have someone to address that.
As I stated in committee meeting, it's my intention at the appropriate time to replace those funds so that we can move forward with the full implementation of the development of crossplex.
By what means, Mr. Mayor?
Don't want to get into that at this point in time. As I stated during the
What is declaration?
committee meeting, we have several options that we are looking into, and at the appropriate time, I will come back to the council. At this time, you have my word, as well as the administration word, that we will replace those funds.
Okay. My last question, is this this $5 million, was this within the budget, or is this a change order?
Council, this is not a change order. This is actually to allow us to proceed with phase 2 of construction.
Okay. All right, very good, thanks.
Counselor Tyson?
Good morning. My concern is also about the money that's coming off of Cotton Avenue. I know this is about a 18-year-old project that was on Cotton. It was, I wasn't a counselor then. It was a verbal commitment. I don't know why it wasn't put in the contract to complete that whole street. It was told to us by the hospital and the contractors that the from 10th Street all the way up to 12th Street would be completed, along with this turnaround from Cotton to 10th. And the street is in such bad shape from 10th to 12th. It's really it's flooding and everything. And I just wanted to note it on the record that that is my concern. I'm not against the intermodal facility, but I am against where the funding is coming from. So I will be voting no on both item 12 and 13.
All right. We're ready to vote, Mr. Clerk. For item 13.
Councilmember Hoyt. Okay, that vote should be up, Mr. President.
That item passes with two no votes. Let's go back to the mayor's report. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, councilors. This morning, we are proud to announce the completion of the flood map revisions for Shades Creek. This study was a joint effort with Councilor Rafferty's office and the Department of Planning and Engineering and Permits Floodplain Management and Disaster Mitigation Section in the Eastwood and Crestline neighborhoods. Revisions were based on new ground elevation information, improved methodology, and correction to the effective flood study. Over 100 properties have been removed from the regulatory floodplain altogether, and 5 properties were removed from the floodway. With this reduction of properties in the floodplain, property owners will potentially be able to benefit from eliminated or reduced cost of flood insurance premiums and potentially will be able to complete renovation and construction projects without additional time and costs associated with developing a floodplain plan. More specifically, the property owners will reap an estimated combined annual savings of $130,000 in flood insurance premiums. Here to provide more information, additional information on the effort of the city's floodplain is the city's floodplain administrator, Ms. Denise Bell. Denise?
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, Denise Bell, Planning Engineering Permits. Yes, I want you to remember right-size the risk. I need you to remember that because that is actually a concept that we are planning to initiate based off of this example, this collaboration between the mayor's office, Council Rafferty's office, Eastwood Community Neighborhood, and Crestline Neighborhood. We have successfully removed over 100 properties from the floodplain. That means, of course, as you can hear, that there is a savings of $130,000 per year, annual savings for those residents. That also to tell you that we invested $33,000 in this effort as a collaboration. So that, as a collaboration, is a model that we want to use for the rest of the city of Birmingham. When you have wrong maps, you have the wrong rated risk. So we're trying to right-size our risk for our residents, as we know that flood insurance rates and premiums have increased in the last 2.5 years. So thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilor Rafferty. And we will be in the community to actually show the new maps.
All right. Any questions? If not, thank you, Denise.
Councilor Rafferty.
Yes, actually, and Mr. Mayor, I wanted to thank you, Mr. Bittis, I wanted to thank you, and the Crestline Eastwood. And the partnership actually is that I use my PIC money, and I match the funds, and each neighborhood matched a fourth of the funds. So everybody came together, the mayor moved the item, and the neighborhood was hit because it was very strange that FEMA would come in and create maps that were erroneous and we have to pay to have them corrected. But I'm glad that we did, and the savings and the property value issues are going to be resolved by this action. So I thank everyone who was involved.
And, Mr. President, let me also thank Councilor Rafferty for mobilizing her community, because that's the model of how public improvement projects should work. The council made a commitment, the neighborhood made a commitment, the city made a commitment. All the elements came together to work through that process. And I want to thank Denise and Andre and their entire staff for working with the neighborhood and working with the community to make the improvements over in that area that benefited the neighbors to the tune of $130,000 a year in insurance premium, potential insurance premium savings. So thank everyone for being a part of this. Thank you, Denise. This year, March 30th through April the 3rd, is observed as the City of Birmingham School Spring Break. During that time, the City of Birmingham offers free admission to the zoo, McWayne Science Center, and Vulcan Park and Museum for Birmingham City School students. We have with us this morning Morgan Burney from Vulcan Park and Museum, and Amy Templeton, gotta get this. Anybody got any, what's that stuff? Oh, yeah, polygrip, that's what I need. Amy Templeton from McWayne Science Center to give us more information on what's new at Vulcan and McWayne as they gear up for a busy week next week. Ladies?
Good morning. At Vulcan Park and Museum, like the mayor said, we are participating again in the Spring Fling, March 30th through April 3rd. During this event, we will allow our young residents and students to be admitted into the park at no charge. We also will have available at Vulcan Park and Museum these Vulcan activity guides. We're also thankful to the City of Birmingham Print Shop for helping us print those and provide those for our young students. The activity guide allows our students more opportunities to explore and engage in Vulcan Park and Museum. It provides games such as a Vulcan alphabet game, a matching game to learn about Vulcan's chronological history, a scavenger hunt that allows them to go through the park and really engage in what our history is about at Vulcan Park and Museum, Vulcan trivia, a family map game, and an opportunity to bring out the inner artist and draw a sketch of Vulcan as how they see him. Those activities and much more are in the activity guide, and those are available for our students that visit us during spring break as well. Just yesterday, Vulcan Park and Museum was listed as one of the top 10 items to do during spring break by BirminghamMommy.com, which is a local blog for moms looking to keep their young ones busy during the off week from school. And I just want to say thank you to the mayor and you, the city council, for asking us to join you again during the Spring Fling. We always see an exponential rise in visitors during this week. And as always, we just thank you for your continued partnership, for helping keep Vulcan standing for Birmingham year after year.
Thank you, Morgan. Amy?
Good morning.
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 I want to echo what Morgan said about spring break being, for us, it's one of the most exciting and biggest weeks of the year, and so we're really looking forward to it. This year, once again, for all Birmingham City residents, we're offering 2 free kids with 1 paid adult admission, and so we hope you'll come down and join us for all of the great things that we have going on. Certainly our popular favorites like the High Cycle and the Shark and Ray Touch Tank and the Bed and Nails will all be available, but we have some exciting things for spring break. First of all, the ever popular slide. Every time people come, they ask, is the slide open? Is the slide open? It'll be open all week. If you haven't been to McWayne before, this is a tube slide that goes from the 3rd floor down to the 2nd floor, so it's an extra long slide, and it's always really popular, and that'll be open all week. We also have oh, and I should add that the slide is for adults as well as children, so moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas all enjoy the slide. We also have a wonderful exhibition on our 3rd floor, Mindbender Mansion. It's brain teasers and puzzles, so it teaches, it's really fun, but it teaches problem-solving skills, working together. Some of these are team against team, so you can challenge another family or another group of friends. I will have to admit that I can't help you with some of these puzzles because I can't solve them myself, but the kids seem to be able to do them just fine. We also have 2 great IMAX films right now for those of you who are IMAX fans. We have Journey to Space, that's about the past, present, and future of space travel, including the work that's being done toward someday being able to send a space flight to Mars. We also have a fabulous film, Mysteries of the Unseen World, so that you can get a peek at things that are not visible to the naked eye, either because they're too fast or too slow or too small, and it is really a wonderful and very popular film. Spring Break Week also coincides with Brain Awareness Week, so we have some great partnerships with UAB during the week, so you can learn about the human brain and how the brain works. We will actually do some brain dissection and some cow eye dissection. And so you'll be able to participate in that. If you were too squeamish to do it when you were in biology class, you got another shot at it. And we're also going to have some programs about protecting your brain and the importance of wearing helmets and why that can protect you from devastating head injuries. Well, there's still some spots available in our spring break camps, so we have half-day camps, but they're morning and afternoon, so you could come all day if you want. And each one is unique each day, and so I encourage you to go online and look at spring break camps at www.mcwayne.org. And then finally, I can't leave the podium without telling you that we're very excited about the Itty Bitty Magic City, the Birmingham Children's Museum that you all have helped make possible. We are opening it to the public on May the 16th. Construction is winding up, and it is a very special area, 10,000 square feet, for that very early childhood education, which is so critical. It's birth through kindergarten, and I hope everybody will join us on May 16th when we open that.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, ladies. March 24th, 2015 has been designated as Arbor Day in the Magic City. Here to receive a proclamation on behalf of the City of Birmingham is Bakara Malden. Bakara. And the proclamation reads as follows. Whereas the economic, environmental, and aesthetic welfare of the people of Alabama is largely dependent upon the trees and forest lands of the state, and whereas everyone in the city of Birmingham, Alabama benefits either directly or indirectly from trees and forest lands, and whereas trees provide jobs, products, wildlife habitat, and recreational opportunities, and whereas trees provide oxygen, help purify the air, play an important role in the water cycle, help neutralize wastewater, and stabilize the soil. And whereas trees are an invaluable physical and psychological addition to the city, they provide shade, cool the air, reduce noise levels and glare. Trees are also an economic asset to the city, attracting tourism, increasing property values, and enhanced shopping patterns. And whereas well-maintained city trees benefit present and future generations. Now, therefore, I, William A. Bell, Sr., Mayor of the City of Birmingham, Alabama, hereby proclaim March 24th, 2015 as Arbor Day in Birmingham, and urge all of our citizens to participate in the planting of trees throughout the city. Bakara, if you would, accept this on behalf of the entire City of Birmingham, and we want everybody to go out and plant a tree. And Mrs. Abbott, I know you're going to plant several trees this Arbor Day. So thank you all very much, and thank you, Bakara.
To Mayor Bell, Council President Austin, and all the members of the Birmingham City Council, good morning.
Morning.
On behalf of the City of Birmingham, the Urban Forestry Division, and the Alabama Forestry Commission, we'd like to thank the mayor for this proclamation. The City of Birmingham has been a member of the Tree City USA Commission for many, many years. I'm sure Councilor Abbott will lead the charge and be very, very excited about this. And this proclamation, of course, fulfills our requirement. We have an annual requirement to observe Arbor Day and to enter a proclamation in order to maintain our status as a member of the Tree City USA Commission. To honor Arbor Day, the City of Birmingham, in partnership with the Alabama State Forestry Commission, sponsors the 23rd Annual Arbor Day Seedling Giveaway. That will be today in Lynn Park, starting at 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Short 20th Street, right out here. Tree species to be given away are river birch, pine, black gum, cherry bark oak, crepe myrtle, bald cypress, and shummered oak. So I'm sure those of you all who are planters, I have a brown thumb, literally, and in forestry, but those of you all who are really, really into planting will be very, very excited. So we definitely encourage all of you all to take advantage of the seedling giveaway and plant a tree in honor of Arbor Day. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Mayor Bell, for this proclamation, and have a great day.
Thank you all very much. That's all I have at this time, Mr. President.
I was going to ask.
Councilor Abbott?
length, but she said yes.
Oh, okay. Never mind. You answered the question. All right. Let's move to suspend our rules for a few presentations.
So move.
Saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
All right, first two presentations, Mr. Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning to my colleagues on the City Council, Mayor Bell, Mr. Patton. I'm going to ask, and she doesn't know this, my wife to come join me, Neva Roberson. Come on up. As we make these special presentations this morning. But at this time, it's truly an honor to be here as we celebrate March Madness, and you all are trying to figure out your brackets right now. In District 7, we're celebrating March Gladness. And we have two state championship coaches that live in District 7. We have great teams that are in District 7. So at this time, I'm going to ask Coach Emmanuel Bell and the Winona Lady Dragons to please come up, along with their principal. Let's give them a round of applause. Back-to-back state champions. Counselor Tyson, come join me, please. Truly a pleasure to see you, Coach, and congratulations to you. And at this time, I'll present a resolution of congratulations to you. And it reads, whereas excellence and success in competitive sports is achieved only through strenuous practice, team play, and team spirit, nurtured by the dedicated coaching and strategic planning, athletic competition enhances the moral and physical development of the young people of this great city. It prepares them for the future of instilling in them the value of teamwork and developing a sense of fair play and competition. And whereas on Saturday, February 28, 2015, at the Legacy Arena in the Birmingham Jefferson Convention Complex, the Winona High School Lady Dragons basketball team earned a 49-29 victory over Brewer Tech and captured the Class 5A Girls State Basketball Championship. The athletic talent displayed by the team is due in great part to the efforts of head coach Emmanuel Bell and assistant coaches Byron Allen, Kenneth Lane, and Tamika Dennis. And this year's Class 5A state championship elevated the Lady Dragons to an overall season record of 32-3. Their outstanding historic record includes championships, listen to this, y'all, in 1949, 1986, 1990, 1993, Coach Bell, you got your first one with my wife coaching the cheerleaders in 2004, 2014, and now in 2015. The 2015 back-to-back title is Coach Bell's third state championship, the first two coming in 2004 and 2014. Whereas Coach Bell and the Winona High School girls 5A state champions, outstanding athletes, have clearly made a positive contribution to the spirit of excellence, which is a tradition of their school. Skilled and inspirational mentors such as trainer Alicia Johnson, videographer Ebony Wilson, and team mom Patricia High Brown also played a vital role in the success of the Lady Dragons this season. Whereas a hallmark of Winona High School girls varsity basketball team, from the opening game of the season to the ending as champions, is a sisterhood of athletic ability and good sportsmanship, honor, and scholarship that demonstrate these team players are the best. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Birmingham, with Mayor William A. Bell Sr. concurring, hereby salute and congratulate Winona High School Girls 5A State Championship basketball team on the outstanding season and overall team record, adopted this 24th day of March 2015 at the recommendation of Councilor Pro Tem James J. Roberson, Jr. I'd like to move the item.
Second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Move the resolution.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you, Council, for your support and moving this resolution. Let's give a big round of applause and congratulations to Winona Lady Dragons. At this time, we'll have Coach Bell say a few words, also our principal, Regina Carr-Hope, and let the young ladies introduce themselves. Coach.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, the real mayor. And the mayor had a joke going, so he know where I'm coming from. President Austin, just want to thank you guys, you know. I appreciate the reserved seating signs. You might as well leave them there because we'll be back next year as well. We only had one senior. Some people say it's arrogance. No, it's just a fact, so I'm stating facts, you know. But I appreciate everything that you guys do for us here at the city of Birmingham, and I just appreciate the way my young ladies represent the city of Birmingham throughout for the state of Alabama. They did a wonderful job. We only had one senior. She's going to school. Last year we had 6 seniors. They all got scholarships from basketball. So we're doing a good thing over at Winona High School. And I just can't thank you guys enough. I want to thank God for being a part of my life, to be a part of these kids' life. And we want to thank Ms. Sheila Tyson. Half of our kids are from District 6 as well. So I see she's representing her shirt. Mr. Robertson, your shirt, you'll get your shirt, okay? And you know, as well, we are the rings and things they call us. So, you know, we will be looking for some ring help. And just thank you guys. And at this time, Ms. Regina Hope gonna come up and talk about how she done got about 6 rings. And the last 5 years, the state championship trophy has gone to Winona High School the last 5 years in a row between the boys and the girls. So that's a great feat we're doing at Winona High School.
Good morning to the mayor, the entire council. We'd just like to say thank you so very, very much. Each year, I was reminded that these seats are reserved for us, and we expect to be there each year. Not only are our girls performing on the court, but they are performing academically, and that's very, very important to us. We will be preparing to go to Washington, D.C. with our FCCLA for a national championship. We also will be competing in the state championship and nationally with our hospitality and tourism as well. We have several scholarship offers for our girls. We have recruiters coming out already. So we have the package at Winona High School. And we look forward to working with you all. With the winning is not just winning the game, but winning have a formula, and you're a part of the formula. And we really appreciate what you do, Mayor Bell. We appreciate Jarvis Patton for being there when we call and get our beg on. We also, Mr. Robertson, I just cannot say enough when it comes to you and your support, you along with Ms. Tyson and the entire council. Thank you so very much, everybody. My girl came in. We thank you as well. And we just appreciate everybody. Judge Cook, always delighted to see you. Thank you.
I just want to give a couple of shout outs to the middle school team that is here. Congrats and great to represent. And to the head coach of the Homewood Lady Patriots for outbeating me in the best dressed contest. I'll get you. So what I did was took credit for being the best dressed male. So congratulations, coach, and your girls.
Okay, girls on 3. We're gonna say 3-P. 1, 2, 3. 3-P.
Now that you've said 3-P, we're going to let you all introduce yourselves to everyone. Please, real quick. We can pass the mic down, or you want to walk up to the mic up front? Okay.
Good morning. My name is Alicia Johnson, and I am the trainer. My name is Alexis Dye, and I'm a sophomore.
Your name and your class. Name, position, and class.
Good morning. My name is Naomi Thomas. I'm a senior. I'm a junior. I'm a junior, but I'm a center.
Good morning. My name is Kaylia Peoples. I'm a junior, and I'm a shooting guard.
Good morning. My name is Kalia Stanley, and I'm a junior, and I'm a small forward. Good morning. I'm Kiara Brothers, and I'm a junior.
Good morning. My name is Trinity Thrasher. I'm a junior, and I'm a power forward.
Good morning. My name is Barbara Garrett. I'm a junior. I'm a junior, and I'm a shooting guard.
Good morning. My name is Destin Davis, and I'm a sophomore.
Hey, my
name is Courtney Smith. I'm a sophomore and I'm a guard.
My name is Caitlin Rogers. I'm a junior. I'm a power forward.
Good morning. My name is Jayla Morrow. I'm a sophomore and I'm a PG, point guard. Good morning. My name is Faith Reynolds. I'm a freshman and I play point guard.
Good morning. My name is Tawana English, and I'm a senior, and I'm a guard/forward.
Let's give them a round of applause. Oh, Coach, come on, Coach.
Good morning. I'm assistant coach, Coach Dennis. Good morning. I'm assistant principal, Vanessa Guestberg.
Any comments this time from the council? Council Skills.
Thank you, Mr. Pro Tem Roberson. It's always a delight for Winona to come. I think sometime, of course, my darling dear, she knows I'm always have something to say about Miss Hope. Miss Hope is outside of one of my other favorite principals in my district. She's it. And you got a good principal, good coaching staff, and girls, you represent well. I always say that people will join in with you when you win, but when you already know you're a winner, I always say that everything good comes from the west side, because I come from the west side. And I want to thank Counselor Tyson, and I do want to acknowledge Mrs. Roberson and everyone that helped to make you who you are. And Coach, I tell you, you just second it on. Every time I see you on TV, you know, it's just a thrill. And it's always a good thrill when I know that you're academically achieving as well. And then you got the athletics on top of all of that, then you're unstoppable. So I just want to say again, congratulations. And I still would like for, before Ms. President, that Ms. Regina takes her throne at the House, that she's going to give us a 2-year notice. Every time I hear her say that, I say, you can't quit. You got to keep on going. So, what she said?
She said both of us.
Both of them?
No, the both of us. We don't want her to quit.
Oh, no, we don't. No, absolutely. She's I can't use the H word in council meeting because it may be taken the wrong way, but that's my ace in the hole. She is a hard worker. So, love you, and I'm not saying nothing bad, ladies. I'm talking about she's a nice hustler. She gonna make sure that everybody knows about Winona High School. So thank you so much, Mr. Pro Tem. Thank you, Counselor Tyson, with the 3P. And Mrs. Roberson, and thank you for coming up and showing off what's happening in Winona.
Thank you, Councilor Scales.
You got it.
Anybody else, Mr. President? Councilor Hoyt.
Yeah, well, now, Coach, did you tell him where you live? You live in District 8, is that right? You got folk in District 8, is that right?
Don't put my business in the
Okay, don't put the business.
I have multiple dwellings.
Okay. I'm sorry, Coach. That was a mistake.
Point of order, point of order.
Go ahead, Mr. Bell.
I just wanted to say thank you to Coach Bell and Mrs. Hope for the outstanding job that they've done, not just with these young ladies, but with each and every team that comes through Winona, whether it's the football team, the basketball team. They know that they have the full support of the administration at that school. And, you know, Coach, I want to thank you personally. And he alluded to it earlier. You know, I can't be everywhere all the time, but I know when it comes time for the state athletic basketball program, I got a substitute. In basketball, you would be the sixth man, but he's the honorary mayor of Birmingham during that time. He's greeting all the other coaches. He's going to each table, making sure that they feel welcome here. And Coach, even though I kid you about it, I really want to thank you because that means a lot to those coaches who come from other places to see the hospitality that we showed, and then you go on to kick their behinds afterwards. So, but ladies, in order for him to continue to represent me at that luncheon, you all got to keep winning. So keep Coach coming so he can be the honorary mayor for that period of time. Thank you, Coach.
Well, and let me just say, I'm very proud of the work that you're doing as a coach and both as a as a mentor to these young folk. You and principal and both of the principals are doing an excellent job. And certainly, Councilor Roberson, you have been a great champion, and Councilor Tyson. And I know that Councilor Roberson couldn't be able to do the things he do if he didn't have a great wife that was supporting him, because that means he's absent sometimes from out there supporting these kids. And so we appreciate that as well. Coach, it's just a wonderful thing, what you're doing, the impact that you're making on these young people's lives. You take it serious. I recall when my daughter was playing AA ball, and my wife said, don't all the girls get to play? He said they good, and so we had to work on that program. But you're serious about it, and we do. Even in the summer times when you're working with these young folk, when everybody else want to go on vacation, you're there. And so winning is in your spirit, and not only that, but the teamwork that it takes to win. No single player wins a game. It is always the team. And so we appreciate that this morning. And you all ought to be encouraged. And certainly want to say to that senior, you got choices. And I hope that you stay in Alabama, because Alabama needs some help right about now. So thank you so much. And thank you for bringing them this morning.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, and congratulations again, Coach Bell, and to the renowned Lady Director. As I stated earlier, and we're going to move a little quick, we are fortunate to have the Class 6A state championship head coach to live in my district, District 7, Javanka Ward. And she's the head coach of Homewood High School girls basketball team. At this time, I'm going to ask the Lady Patriots and Coach Javanka Ward and the staff to please come up at this time. The Class 6A girls state champions. Come on, Shelby, you move a little slow. She just had knee surgery. At this time, we'll present you with a resolution of congratulations.
At that particular school.
Whereas excellence and success in competitive sports is achieved only through strenuous practice, team play, and team spirit, nurtured by the dedicated coaching and strategic planning, athletic competition enhances the moral and physical development of the young people of this great city. It prepares them for the future by instilling in them the value of teamwork and developing a sense of fair play and competition. Whereas on Saturday, February 28, 2015, at the Legacy Arena in the Birmingham Jefferson Convention Complex, the Homewood Lady Patriots earned a 69-60 victory over Blount High School and captured the Class 6A Girls State Basketball Championship. The athletic event displayed by the team is due in great part to the efforts of a District 7 resident and head coach, Javanka J. Ward, and assistant coaches Lucius Harding, Kevin Tubbs, Allison McCaleb, and Mark McCaleb. And whereas the Lady Patriots completed their championship season with a record of 30-4, the 2014-15 Lady Patriots made history on many levels. This is the first girls basketball team in this school's history to be ranked #1 by the Alabama Sports Writers Association. The Lady Patriots are the first girls basketball team in the school's history to make it to the state finals, and first basketball team, boys or girls, at Homewood High to win a basketball state title. And whereas special thanks to Principal Dr. Zach Barnes and the faculty and staff of Homewood High School for their unwavering support throughout the 2014-15 basketball season, Coach Ward and the Homewood High School girls 6A state champions, outstanding athletes, have clearly made a positive contribution to the spirit of excellence, which is tradition of their schools. Whereas the hallmark of the Homewood High School girls varsity basketball team from the opening game of the season to ending as champions is a sisterhood of athletic ability, of good sportsmanship, honor, and scholarship that demonstrate these team players are the best. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Birmingham, with William A. Bell Sr. concurring, hereby salute and congratulate the Homewood High School girls 6A state basketball team. There are only 2 teams in the Birmingham area that won championships. That's Winona and Homewood. On their outstanding season and overall team record, adopted this 24th day of March 2015 at the recommendation of Council Pro Tem James J. Roberson, Jr. I'd like to move the resolution.
Second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Move the item.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Thank you, council. Thank you for your support. And congratulations, Coach. It's truly a pleasure to have you as a resident of the Oxmoor Valley community and head coach of this team, and also to my daughter, who will announce her name later on. We are so proud of you and the success of the Homewood High School Lady Patriots. Coach Javanka Ward. Let's give them a round of applause.
I just want to say thank you so much for recognizing us and asking us to be a part of the council meeting today. I'm very proud of these young ladies. I couldn't begin to stand here and take all the credit. I have an amazing staff, great administrative support from Dr. Barnes to my athletic director, Kevin Tubbs. So without the support coming from the top all the way down, it would be virtually impossible to be here. But I am very, very grateful. We are humbled. We would love to guarantee victories for the future as well, like Coach Bell, but we're very humbled. We realize that this is something that's very, very difficult to do. I have a very young team. I have 3 seniors that I like to recognize for sticking through. A lot of them started, I'll say a lot of other players started and didn't make it to their senior year. So to my 3 seniors, Jalen Underwood, Alex Studdard, and Maya Cook, congratulations to you for being a part of the first state championship at Homewood High School. Thank you again so much for having us.
At this time, don't leave, ladies. You got to introduce yourself. Not only do we have the best dressed coach that lives in the city of Birmingham, in Class 6A and throughout the state of Alabama, she's also the daughter-in-law of the president of Lawson State Community College, Dr. Perry Ward. So we have a lot of good things going on in District 7. At this time, I'd like to have the young ladies introduce themselves, just your name, your class, and position. Thank you. We can start on this side.
My name is Kalia. I'm a freshman and I play guard. Okay. Oh, my name is Jasmine Griffin. I'm a freshman and I'm the manager.
I'm Alex Sutter and I'm a senior and I'm a guard.
My name is Maya Cook, and I'm a forward, and I'm a senior.
My name is Kayla McCullough. I'm a freshman and I'm a forward.
My name is Sakira Hollis and I'm a freshman and I'm a forward.
My name is Maya Hill. I'm a freshman. I'm a forward.
My name is Leah Roberson. I'm a freshman. I'm a guard.
My name is Hannah Barber. I'm a freshman and I'm a point guard.
My name is Tori Webb and I'm a forward and I'm also a freshman.
My name is Cassidy Crawford. I'm a freshman and I'm a guard.
My name is Shelby. I'm a sophomore and I'm a forward.
I'm Asia Wayne. I'm a freshman and I'm a guard.
I'm Jalen Underwood. I'm a senior and I'm a guard.
All the ladies?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lucius Harden. I'm assistant coach. Thank you.
Thank you, council. I already did the motion, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting old, can't remember everything. Any comments at this time?
Well, just want to say we're, again, proud of all of you, and certainly to the coaches, and the kind of tenor that you're instilling in them, I think is to be recognized and to be celebrated. And so thank you all for coming this morning. I know sometimes folks be looking at city council and say, well, why are they taking up all this time? But either you invest in these young people now or you'll pay later. And so I think this is a great investment for us to pause in our deliberations this morning and to celebrate these wonderful young folk. And I look forward to seeing you at the what is it, NAAC? What is it? NCAA? Is that right?
NCAA, one day.
Okay, one day.
One day.
One day. Playing for the big school. All right, thank you.
Anyone else?
Counselor, I just want to say to you, Coach, you know, I watched you as the final seconds ticked down, and you were intense all throughout the game. And at one point, after you realized that you all had won the championship, I thought I was going to have to call the paramedics. You were about to hyperventilate on us, but it shows the intensity with which you want your girls to succeed. And I think you instill in them not only a competitiveness, but a sense of pride in what they do and a sense of teamwork. And they work so brilliantly together to achieve this accomplishment. And I think it taught them a lesson for life, that you can't do it by yourself. You have to have a complete team to make it happen. And I want to thank you for working with these young ladies and making sure that they have that confidence going forward in life. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. President, for this time. And thank you, First Lady, for joining me. And congratulations again to the Homewood Lady Patriots. Thank you.
Councilor Rafferty.
I'd like to invite the WJ Christian Middle School Girls Championship basketball team up. We have actually, they won their competition back in January, and we've actually been trying to get them up here ever since, but the weather has not been cooperating. Wait till they all get up here. You know how to play the game, right? Name, grade, and position. Got it? Everybody's ready? Scrunch in. This is a very dynamic team. Is head coach. There you are. And we're principal. There you go. These two very fine ladies have developed this team at WJ Christian, and I'm very appreciative for all the efforts that you've made, and you have a beautiful set of girls. I'm sure they can sweat quite pretty too. I want to thank you for all of this, and I'd like to go ahead and read the resolution. Whereas excellence and success in competitive sports is achieved only through strenuous practice, team play, and team spirit, nurtured by dedicated coaching and strategic planning, athletic competition enhances the moral and physical development of young people of this great city. It prepares them for the future by instilling in them the value of teamwork and developing a sense of fair play and competition. And whereas on Saturday, January 31st, the WJ Christian School Lady Chargers basketball team earned a 33-29 victory and captured the middle school girls championship at Washington Middle School. The athletic team displayed by the team is due in great part to the efforts of head coach Carol Rodan. Is it Roden or Rodan? Roden. And assistant coaches Corey Thomas and LaTanya Grissom. Are they both here? I'll make sure. Okay, thank you. And whereas John Herbert Phillips Academy was defeated by a score of 33-29 in the middle school girls city championship, which elevated the ladies Chargers to an overall season record of 24-2. And whereas athletically and academically, team members Andrea Stitt, Jalen Sherrod, Joy Rogers, I love that name, Elisa Schafold, is that correct? Saffold? I believe we're missing a vowel. Zoe Cooper, Erica Lockhart, Madison Clay, Anaya Smith, Sydney Bolton, and Maya Phelps have proven themselves to be an unbeatable combination of talent, reflecting favorably on their school and community. And whereas special thanks to Principal Dr. Nicole Williams, Assistant Principal Danya Nelson, along with the team managers Michaela Lumpkin, London Yates, Tiana Shelton, Michelle Jones, Lauren Green, and the faculty and staff at WJ Christian Middle School for their unwavering support through the 2014-2015 basketball season. Coach Roden and the WJ Christian Lady Chargers have clearly made a positive contribution to the spirit and excellence, which is a tradition of their school. And whereas the hallmarks of the WJ Christian Middle School basketball team, from the opening game of the season to the ending as champions, is a sisterhood of athletic ability, good sportsmanship, honor, and scholarship demonstrated by these team players, and that they are the best. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Birmingham, with Mayor William A. Bell Sr. concurring, hereby salutes and congratulates W.J. Christian Middle School Lady Chargers for winning the Middle School Girls City Championship and for their outstanding season and overall team record. Adopted this 24th day of March 2015 at the recommendation of Councilor Kim Rafferty. I move the item.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
And I move the resolution.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
And I'd like to present these champions to you. And now I'll let Coach stand up and say a few words.
Thank you so much for having us. It's a blessing to be in the midst of such a group of young ladies who believe first in God, and they understand that they have to sow seeds, and the entire season they continue to sow seeds. Part of the season I was absent, but they never stopped believing. The 2 games that we lost to Phillips Academy, but in the championship we prevailed. So it's because of their faith and just their belief that I feel like we're here today, and thank you so much for having us. I'm going to let my principal, Dr. Nicole Williams, speak a little bit more about the young ladies.
To the Honorable Mayor Bell, President Jonathan Austin, members of the council, and all assembled today, good morning.
Good morning.
I am Dr. Nicole Davis Williams, principal of W.J. Christian, and I just want you to know that William James Christian K-8 is an educational institution of grand achievements. This group of talented championship ladies possess the following attributes. They are all pre-AP students, honor roll students, SGA members and officers, National Junior Honor Society members, have already been accepted to JCIB. We're waiting on our Ramsey letters as well. Receive perfect attendance, which is the direct and positive correlation to their academic achievement, perform community service, and are talented in music and the arts. I present to you the championship team of W.J. Christian K-8.
And at this time, I'm going to let the assistant coaches introduce themselves, and then I'm going to let the players, you know the game plan, your name, your grade, and your position. Come forward.
Good morning. My name is Latanya Grissom, assistant coach.
Good morning. My name is Corey Thomas, assistant coach.
My name is Erica. I'm in the 8th grade, and I'm a shooting guard.
My name is Andressa. I'm an 8th grader and I'm a guard.
My name is Anaya Smith. I'm an 8th grader and I play forward and power forward.
My name is Jalen Sherrod. I'm in the 8th grade and I'm point guard.
My name is Madison Clay. I'm in 8th grade and I'm a shooting guard.
My name is Maya Phelps. I'm 8th grade and I'm a power forward.
Good morning. My name is Lauren Green and I'm a manager.
My name is Tiana Shelton and I'm a manager. Good morning. My name is Michaela Lumpkin and I am a manager. Good morning. My name is Michaela Lumpkin and I am a manager.
My name is London Yates and I'm a 6th grade manager.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Jones. I'm in 6th grade and I'm a manager. My name is Joy Rogers. I'm a 7th grader and I'm a guard.
My name is Alyssa Sappho. I'm in the 7th grade and I'm a small forward. My name is Sydney Bolton. I'm in 7th grade and I'm a guard.
Good morning. My name is Zoe Cooper. I'm in 7th grade and I'm a power forward.
As you can see, you want to say something else?
I just want to say that Coach Roden has got to be the absolute best coach I've ever worked with. I've never seen someone so dedicated to the whole child. She focuses on their academics, health and nutrition. She's in the lunchroom checking to see what they're eating. whether it's cakes or nachos, she takes those back. She has a nutrition program that they have to take home and follow, and she makes sure that their character is intact. So I just want to let you know what a wonderful, wonderful person we have in Coach Roden.
I have one more thing to say. I have a group of assistant coaches who are amazing. I was out for a brief part of the season. Saturday practices, 7 a.m., they were there. After school, study hall, they were there. And I just want to say thank you so much. Without you, we wouldn't be. So thank you so much.
And Mr. Mayor, this is, again, it takes a partnership. It takes a village, and definitely we have a very good example in WJ Christian in creating a dynamic village. And I want to really, I am extremely impressed by the report that the principal gave. I want to thank each and every one of you for all of the work, not just on the court, but also in the classroom and in your lives. And I know it's a bummer not to have nachos, but it'll pay off, guaranteed, because you don't want it catching up with you in about 20 years. Yeah, catching up with you in the wrong places, if you know what I mean. So these are our middle school champions.
Council Lady, let me just say to the principal and the coach, I was sitting here, you know, we had the high school ladies earlier, thanking them, and as I look at these young ladies, I started thinking about when Title IX was passed, that assured that young ladies would have the same opportunities as their male counterparts. And it really makes a well-rounded young lady. And to hear the work that the principal and the coach are doing to make sure that they understand that they are young ladies and the world is theirs. This competition is just the tip of the iceberg. You can do anything, be anything you want to be, but more importantly, make sure your character is intact to take you to places you never dreamed you could go. So thank you, young ladies, for being outstanding examples of what it means to be champions. Thank you.
Mr. President. Well, I wanted to say before you left, you know, Coach Roden, I was not going to let you just leave. That's why I came back in the chamber. But before I speak to Coach Roden, I want to say, Dr. Williams, it is such a pleasure to finally see your beautiful face, because we have exchanged emails, and I adopted WJ Christian in 2004, and my commitment still remains the same. I am always encouraged by WJ Christian because they service the entire city of Birmingham, not just the district in which you once were in. So when I got the calls, well, Councilor Scales, we're not in your district. And I said, as long as I'm a partner in education, I'm always do my part in conjunction with your council member now. And I do want to say, Coach Roden, you are absolutely a jewel. I think that it's not enough words to say the caliber of woman that you really are. And you are an inspiration to a person like me because you're strong, not just physically, mentally, and you understand what needs to be deposited in these girls so that they become effective and impactful young women in high school. Then they grow up to be strong, not just physically, but mentally, in terms of being women that are productive and don't be moved by adverse circumstances. They just understand that that goes along with the game of life. So girls, congratulations. This is not your first rodeo, Coach Roden, of winning. And so I really want to say congratulations even to your assistant staff members who helped you. I always believe there are many parts but one body. And the end result, as long as that body is functioning, you're going to do academically well, you'll do spiritually well, and you will do great things. And girls, I expect nothing less. I promise you that. I always say you make guys respect you from the neck up, you're going to do good. Neck up, and you'll do good. So with that commitment, and that's why I wanted to make sure that I could even say this across the dais, I am, in conjunction with your council member, but from the District 1 discretionary, I am going to sow a seed of $1,000 into your program because I believe in what you do. And then I'll be talking to you, Coach Roden. It's not like you don't have my number, so you can know how to access those funds, okay? But I want to say, girls, I'm proud of you. Looking forward to being at your 8th grade graduation. Absolutely. So thank you, Ms. President. Thank you, Councilor Rafferty, and you still always have my support. You got it. Thank you.
Well, Coach, I think Councilor Scales has said it really all, because you have a high standard for these young women, and we appreciate it. Not only are you all athletes, but you're smart, and that takes you a long way, because you have options, because you have a skill set, and then you're academically inclined, and so that's a good combination, and I just appreciate the work that you've done over the years. No, you're not bragging, because that's just who you are. You're confident, humble, and so that takes you a long way as well. So I think that's what helped my daughter, who played for you, and she's confident, but she's humble, unlike her father. So she's like her mother. But I just really appreciate the work that you all are doing. And Ms. Williams, I didn't know you were there, but I've already got a little request. So we're trying to work on that now, okay? So, but we appreciate you being there. They couldn't have made a better choice. And so kudos to the Board of Education for sending you there for these young folk. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. And real quick, I know we got to move forward, but Dr. Williams and to Coach, congratulations. Councilor Rafferty, thank you for bringing these young ladies forward. I see some folks in this audience right here with this team that I've been traveling the AAU circuit for a long time, and it's good to see these young ladies now growing up. And it's critical, number one, to become a student athlete first. Take care of your books and your academics, and ball comes second. But at the same time, I want to make sure you start preparing yourself. Because when you start going from 7th grade, 8th grade, to 9th grade, and 10th grade, that's when you start getting recruited, okay? And so do what you have to do, because every college scout looks at academics and how well you're doing within the classroom. That says a lot, and both my colleagues talked about character, but academics are the most important, and you'll be successful. So that's all I have to say. Congratulations, WJ Christian. And Coach Bell was putting a plug in too, by the way. You heard that earlier. Yeah. So he might be trying to recruit some of you all. Thank you so much, and congratulations. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Clerk, we're ready to move on with the agenda. Item 4.
Can I make a reference to item 16 that we need to make a note that there was a correction on that it didn't include engineering services. It was just for professional services. That was on item 16.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's go to item 4.
What number?
4.
4? Okay, sorry.
Are we not going to do the rest of these? We're going to do them later?
Item 4, a resolution relative to the application of R&M Store Corporation for an office premise beer and wine license to be used at R&M Store, 1403C 3rd Street North, Birmingham, and the hearing of all interested parties.
Councilor Hoyt.
Yes, this is a public hearing. Is the applicant here? Detective Patterson, we would give your report, please.
Mr. Chairman, we have an application for an off-premise beer and wine license at R&M Store, 1403C 3rd Street North. This is a new application. Mr. Chairman, 1403C 3rd Street North, there was one incident report that was made at this location for a domestic, and that was on October the 15th of 2014.
All right. Is the applicant here?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Rodriguez Cowens. I will be the owner of the R&M Store Corporation, 1403 3rd Street North, Birmingham, Alabama, 35204. Just here to get the permission from you guys to serve off-premise beer and wine.
Okay. All right. You take a seat on the front row. Is there anyone here in the audience to speak for or against this item? If not, Mr. President, for the benefit of the council, it came from the committee with no recommendation because I think he was late in coming to the meeting. And so, but we moved it forward with no recommendation. I think we've heard the report, and so I would turn it over to you.
All right, Mr. Clerk, we're ready to vote.
Okay.
President, I move approval.
Second.
Thank you.
Abbott, Roberson.
All right. Voting should be open. That vote should be up.
That item passes. Next item should be item 6.
Item 6. A resolution relative to the application of Hassel Rather for a junk dealer's license to be used at Rather Recycling LLC, 323 Finley Boulevard, West Birmingham, and hearing by our supporters.
Councilor Hoyt.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is Detective Patterson here? Well, no, there's no report from the detective. This is a public hearing. If anyone here to speak for or against this item, is the applicant here? Would you come and state your name and your purpose here?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Hassel Rather, and I am a longtime resident of Birmingham. I live at 2435 Vestavia Drive in Birmingham. I'm accompanied by my pretty wife back there, Christy. She is a graduate of Sanford University, and I'm also a graduate of UAB. I'm seeking a junk dealer license at 323 Finley Boulevard. All of you know where Nicky's West is. It's directly across the street from Nicky's West on the main Finley, not Finley Avenue. I get them mixed up. Finley Avenue is the farmer's market, Finley. The location that I'm interested in opening my business is zoned M2, which is the proper qualification for recycling. The real estate is owned by Mrs. Kemp. Kemp's Wrecker Service is directly across the street from there, and they held the very same license that I'm seeking, the junk dealer license, for approximately 40 years at that location. Presently, I have a small little visual that I'd like to show the council. It's abandoned, and there's nothing going on there. I want to briefly describe the difference between a junk dealer and a recycler. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I have to buy or seek the junk dealer license. And a junk dealer is somebody that buys an automobile or what have you and leaves it on a lot, and then they sell the items off of the car. Could be alternators, could be tires, could be whatever is valuable off the car. And then ultimately, when the day is done and there's no value left in the car, they junk it. But that car may sit there for 3-4 years before the car ultimately leaves. In my world, I'm a recycler. Cars, first of all, are a small percentage of the things we do, but if indeed I purchased a car, its shelf life at my place would be 5 days. By state law, in your thing that I submitted to you, it has my business plan, plus it has the applicable standards for the junk dealer license. I have to keep it for 48 hours, run the VIN number to make sure everything is up to snuff with the car, but I have no incentive to keep it because I can't get paid till I sell it, so I want to sell it as quickly as I can. We just sell it by weight. I don't sell anything to the public. We sell it directly to big entities that shred them and stuff like that. So that's the major difference. And we buy copper, brass, aluminum. A big thing that what we do now is also we recycle computers. E-scrap is what we call it because there's significant value in doing that. I have a small presentation, and I just want to show you what the location looks like right now. And I hope you can see it from here. This is 323 Finley Boulevard as it sits right now. As you can see, there's just abandoned cars all over it. And if you can't see it, let me know. But that's basically what it looks like. It hasn't been touched for years. I have to do significant renovations to it, from wiring to what have you, to make it a place where a business should be able to conduct business in a safe manner. So as you can see, it needs a lot of work. As you can see, it needs a lot of work, but it will take place. This is what it'll look like afterwards. Now, this is my mentor's place, Recycle USA in Pinson. But as you can see, everything is organized. We bail up everything. You do not see loose cars anywhere. I'm trying to look at this upside down. For instance, that's aluminum cans, so it's bailed up, and that's how we do it. You know, and you can see their office is neat and organized. There's an example of what batteries are. They're put on pallets. That's copper. It's all bailed up and organized. And so that's just a marked difference from a junkyard. I mean, that's recycled material that's very, very important for our economy to move forward on a daily basis. In the documents that you have in front of you, the junk dealer's license that I got from the legal department here at City Hall, or in Birmingham, we are not allowed to operate. It specifies. There'll be people that'll stand up in a moment and say that I'm going to be open 24 hours a day and this type of thing. We cannot open before 6 in the morning, and the latest that we could stay open would be 8 at night. Now, we will be closing at 4:30 every day, I assure you, because I want to go home. There will be other people that perhaps might talk about respiratory problems and things of that nature that they've encountered.
Mr. Rather, don't make assumptions. Just state your facts.
Well, it's factual. We will be closing at 4:30 each day.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, and we do not have the ability to melt anything. It's according to the bylaws from the city. Nothing. We will create no emissions at all, except for what a forklift would do. So we do not have emissions. In terms of employment, my mentor, who will come up in a moment and speak, has hired at one time up to 30 people at his facility in Pinson. I hope to get to that point. When we initially open our doors, we won't be at 30. We will be maybe at 10. But we hope to be able to employ as many people, and I hope to employ people from District 9, if at all possible. I employ the best people available, people that want to work hard and earn an honest dollar. And so that's who I look for when I'm creating a business. I've been in business many, many years, and so that's how I've always done. Just in closing, this has been a long process for me. I've been trying to do this for it's approaching a year, and the experience has been amazing. It's been stressful, but it's been amazing in many ways. I've had the opportunity to meet the vast majority of the council members, starting with Councilor Lundy. He was very helpful to me, gave me guidance. All of the counselors have provided insight that, I couldn't have gotten anywhere else. And the experience has also changed, not that I ever viewed the council, but I've heard many times in the past people will ridicule the counselor. People in Birmingham have no idea what the council members are charged with doing every day. And it's not an easy job. And I thank each and every one of you. I hope I haven't been too much of a burden. But I'm just trying to get a business established for my family, and I will be a valuable member to the business community in Birmingham. My doors will always be open to each and every member of the council, and I am thankful for everything that each and every one of you have done for me. And I'll entertain any questions that you may have.
Okay. Thank you. You can be seated on the front row.
Okay.
Anyone that has to speak for or against this item, you may stand. Yeah, we've called. This is a public hearing, so we hear from anyone who gets up and speak. And if you for it, get on this side. If you're against it, get over here. Okay. So if you're against it, over here. If you're for it, over there. Jesus Christ. Okay, you for it? Okay. All right, let's hear from you. Yes, state your name and address, please, for the record.
My name is Gertrude J. Roscoe.
Pull your mic down, please.
Can you hear me?
Pull your mic down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I am so glad to have this privilege because I didn't think I would ever get a chance to do so. I want to say good morning to Mayor Bell. I thought he was going to stay because I had a surprise to tell him. And the rest of you all. I am a resident of the Sipco Finley neighborhood. I'm gonna give you a little bit of my background. I finished elementary and high school in the city of Selma, Alabama. I got my BS degree from Tuskegee University, my master's from A&M University. I have been in the Sipco community for 63 years. I'm well aware of it. And there's one other person sitting in this group here that was here before me. I think she's been here 65. I remember when all of this, well, I don't know Mr. Rather, but I know what is right. I don't want you all to think that the entire community was aware of all of this against, because we were not. We knew nothing. I was called and asked, was I coming to a meeting? I said, what kind of meeting? Didn't know what it was. Called Mr. Grayson. Mr. Grayson has been disrespected throughout this whole process. And if you all endorse this today, I will be more disappointed than I am now. I want to say this before I leave. Mayor Bell, my husband taught your dad brick mason. Mr. Austin, my oldest son, finished high school with your dad. He married my niece and her husband. I further want to say, you all were elected by the people to come down here. And where there's a need, you're leaders. Don't let disrespect be a part of your administration. I am asking you today to please endorse respect. Mr. Grayson knew
Ma'am,
nothing about
that's your time.
most of these meetings. You have people here that...
Ma'am, that's your time. We got a lot of folk, and
I'm
we gave you
sorry.
3 minutes. Everyone has 3
But
minutes.
do let me say this, please, before you tell me to say it.
Oh.
Where is Chief Roper? He was in here. I wanted him to know that my immediate neighborhood loved the North Birmingham precinct. And we love all of you too.
We appreciate all that love.
Chairman, can
Yeah.
I say something right quick?
Certainly.
I want to express my deep appreciation to Ms. Roscoe. She's absolutely correct. Her husband was my father's mentor as well as my own mentor, and he helped raise me. And were it not for your husband, my father would not have had all the opportunities in life that he had. And I recognize that all the way from Gaston to Lawson State and everywhere else. So, thank you. All right. We'll hug and talk later, okay?
Well, sometime you can't pay for the advertisement. Next person. 3 minutes, I'm told by my colleague.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I own Recycle USA. I'm out in
State-
Pinson. My company's been
State your
in
name and
business for
address
20
for the record.
years.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Hassel. has
State your
been-
name and address for the record.
Thomas Fisher. I own Recycle USA.
And address for the record.
In address 6147 Sunrise Drive, Pinson, Alabama 35126. Hassel, I met over a year ago. Hassel wanted to get in the recycling business. It's the hardest working man I've run across. He's done everything he can to get in the scrap metal business. I'm mentoring him. In between trying to get in the business, he's worked at my facility every day, just about in his spare time, trying to get the knowledge and gain the knowledge as in the recycling business. We do the right thing, and I will be mentoring him and following him and making sure he does the right thing. I will support him in the future.
All right, thank you. Next
Thank you.
person. State your name and
My name
address
is-
for the record, please.
My name is Christina Kemp, and I live in Birmingham. always have been a resident of Birmingham, and so was my husband, because we thought it was very important that we be in the city of Birmingham.
Ms. Kemp, what is your address, please?
1125 53rd Street South.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
And I have met Hassel, known him for the several months now that we've been working on this, and I think that he will be an asset to this community, because I think he will improve the appearance of this business. We've tried to keep it in a decent-looking business all the years that we've had it, and I will be on the next property to it, so I'm hoping that he will be in there so that he can uplift my property for the future. But that's all I know, that he has definitely, Mr. Rather's definitely anxious to do a good job and make it a nice appearance to the business.
All right, well, thank you kindly. Appreciate it. Next person. If you will state your name and address, please.
Good afternoon. Pete Hanses, 233 Finley Avenue. I've known Hassel over 20 years. He's a good man. He will do the right thing. And I'm aware of most or all of you here, and my word's good. And I wouldn't be up here if I didn't think he couldn't do the right thing. And I promise you he will. Because if he doesn't, I'll be the first one to get a hold of him myself. But he will do the right thing. And we need a lot of things on Finley Boulevard. And one of them is more business, better infrastructure. And if you want the city to come together, you got to embrace the whole entire city, not just part of it. You got to embrace all of it and make it right, make it where people want to come, and they'll be, and the city will move forward. I promise you. Thank you.
State your address, please, for the record.
233 Finley Avenue, Birmingham, Alabama 35204.
Okay. Thank you. Next person.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Leslie Ronald Valerie III. I'm the pastor of the New Rising Star Baptist Church, 1125 21st Avenue North, Birmingham, Alabama 35204. This morning I come in support of this new business. And the reason why is because I am a veteran of United States Army. I'm also, I was hurt on the job, I was injured on the job. For the last 10 years, I haven't worked. I've applied for job time after time. And you know that, and our representatives in the White House today, they argue about veterans needing jobs, the middle class, people who have prior injuries. I'm a product of all of that. You get an opportunity this morning to see someone who's worked all their lives and then something that's unfortunate happens to them. And then we have people like Mr. Hassel that comes along and you have an opportunity to work. A year ago, I applied for a business license here in Birmingham, 4120 Messer Airport, Avondale's Grocery and Grill. I'm the type person that I don't want a handout, I just want an opportunity. So for the last 10 years, I've had the door slammed in my face time after time again. And so possibly again, it's going to happen because there are those who, because of fear, don't understand. And in the military, I was in the 92nd Chemical Company. I know about the decontamination and contamination. That's what I did for 3 years. And there's nothing that they can prove, because you can go to Bessemer and you'll find a facility like Mr. House was trying to open right by this municipal court. And it's been there for years, no problems. And this is a micro business. And also when you look around, you see those who are opposing and that's for it, they all have an income. You don't understand what this does to families, your kids, when you can't bring home a check because you're being told no, because maybe today I go home not with the, the conversation with my wife that I have a job, an opportunity, but no, the door's been slammed again. And, you've been through a few marriages because of this, because you can't provide. But you as councilman, on the smaller scale, you have an opportunity because you get to see the face of what we are going through as veterans, people who've had disabilities or been injured, and we can't get a break. So I just simply asked you this morning to give us a break. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Next person.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. My name is Betty Clayton. I'm at 2116 6th Place West, Birmingham, Alabama, 35204. I was against this until I did the research. Once I did the research, and who helped me was my 7th grader that goes to Wilkerson Elementary, because I wanted to know what I was reading, because my comprehension is not as good as hers. And she helped me and told me what recycling was. And it's a turnaround, a turnover. She said that's all is a turnover. But it could be some other things involved, but it depends on the machinery that you have to process it. So I said, so I'm reading this here process is going to be different. She said, this is going to be different, Granny. So I'm here to say that I know for a fact if it was something bad, I've been living at 228. I was there when Nickens was built in 1956. And I know for a fact if it was something wrong or something like that, he would have told me, and he wouldn't have not came here. I mean, he wouldn't have to accept this. I was, like I said, against it till I did the research. Once I did the research, it was all in.
Next person.
Good evening. My name is Art Grayson. I'm the president of the Sipco Finley Neighborhood Association. Been president approximately 6 years. And out of those 6 years, so when I first got it, it took me a year to get everything in order and get my plans together for the community. And as of the start, my sentiment was to bring businesses in the community. That I have done. I will not, under any circumstances, bring a business in that community that will jeopardize my family or the neighborhood family or anybody else's family health or anything. I will not do that. When I go into, it just depends on the magnitude of the business. I deal with a person for, I've dealt with Mr. Hassel for about 6 months, you know, before I get my final approval. And during those 6 months, we've run across, I mean, what he's proposing to put up is a high tech. It's high tech, you know, a lot of money that's involved in it. And the location that he wants to put it up is zoned for that all the way. Not in the neighborhood, it's back off the neighborhood. It's back off the Finley Avenue area. And I can't see, you know, some of these things are towards certain neighbors who has been in that area a long time. It get personal, you know, and I've experienced no matter what I brought to that neighborhood, I had opposition. I'm responsible for one of the most beautifulest welcome to Sipco Finley sign, you know, in the city of Birmingham. I had opposition. On my bus shelters that I had installed, had opposition. The oppositions come from, and it's sadly to say, it come from a very few people. And I've been falsified against, and everything that is in the petition and everything that has been placed it don't hold water. And so
That's your
I'm
time,
asking
Mr.
you
Grayson.
today, sir.
That's your time. Can you wrap
Thank
it
you.
up, sir?
Well, I'm asking you today to please consider. Consider. Just consider. Thank you.
All right, next speaker. Come on, from this side, those who oppose.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor and ladies and gentlemen of the council. What I have in my hand is the North Birmingham
Excuse me,
Community
sir.
Framework.
Let me just interrupt a minute. I need your name and address.
Danny Robinson.
And that's everybody coming. Please do that. That'll save us some time.
421 37 Court West, Birmingham, Alabama. I live in the community of Hooper City, and I am their president. I am one of few who has been working on the North Birmingham Community Framework. And I promise you that it has been adopted this year, and it is not for me personally, it's for my grandchildren and their children. And we adopt shopping malls, super grocery stores, homes, businesses, and restaurants. And we've been working on this more than a year, and I promise you that we have never envisioned a junkyard. That is not what we want in our framework. 20, 30 years down the road. We don't want a junkyard. We want something more beneficial to our community. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next person.
Name is Donald Smith. Address is 1228 Finley Avenue North. I'm against the junkyard. When I was president of the neighborhood, Mr. Mayor and Mr. Council President and the council, we had to take Kimberly Junkyard to court to clean up 16th Street and fenced in Finley Boulevard. And we won the case. Mr. Don Lupo helped us on the case to win. And Mr. Rathers, he made his presentation at the meeting. He said that he wanted to be open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And he offers to give our neighborhood $3,000. And I'm taking that as that he's trying to buy our vote. Our neighborhood is not for sale. The junkyard is closed, and we would like for it to stay closed. Finley Boulevard is up for a facelift and a beautification improvement from the state of Alabama Transportation Department. And the junkyard breeds mosquitoes every year, and every winter, rats from the junkyard go across Finley Boulevard under our neighbors' houses to get warm. So I'm against the opening of the junkyard, and we think that maybe the zoning could be changed and we could have something better. But Mr. Rather said he was speaking facts, and the facts that I spoke, he said at our neighborhood meeting. And some people that are speaking may own property in the neighborhood, but don't live in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Next person.
Good morning. My name's Diane Waters, and I've been living on Finley Avenue like 38 years, and Tola like 48 years. And I vote no against a junkyard on Finley Avenue. I feel like that we can have something better than junk. We are not junk. So why you always want to bring junk to Finley? You know, we can have some beautiful than junk, and which a junkyard is gonna affect our health. It's gonna affect our living, our whole neighborhood. So I'm not against business coming to Finley, but I am against another junkyard. As Mr. Smith said, we have cleaned up junkyard, so why can't we have something else? Why you can't put the junkyard or whatever in your neighborhood? And you wanna bring a business in our neighborhood that we gonna be bothered with rats, mosquitoes, and whatever. So I am totally against it.
Giving honor to the Lord for me being here first. I am against
Come to the mic.
them putting that junkyard. Oh, my name is Corrine Williams. And I live at 1129 John J. Eden Drive.
Ms. Williams, can you speak in the microphone?
My name is Corrine Williams, and I live at 1129 John J. Eden Drive in Birmingham, Alabama. And I don't live far from where they wants to put the place, where they gonna put that junkyard. We need other things. We got one grocery store in our neighborhood. You can open up a grocery store. You can open up a lot of things. Why every time they open up something, it's junk? We got junk on each side of where we stay at. Junk in the front, junk on the side. We got everything that is bad when it comes over out of Finley and North Birmingham. And I don't think that's right. So it does affect people's health. Because if you, in the morning before you even wake up, you can hear all that noise coming from that oil company they got down there. Then they got another something they have put up in there. And it seems like they be joining trains all night. And then you can't even cross either way. You have to go all the way up and go across the bridge before you can go toward North Birmingham or go towards the town. So I figured that if you want to put something there, put something that is worth something. It's not worth it just to keep on putting junk. Why, just like she said, why don't you put it in your neighborhood or take it out in the woods somewhere? You're going to bring it right in town where we live and cause us to have bad health. And I'm telling you, sometimes they have a smell that, I'm not saying come from him because he hadn't got out there yet, but we already got some bad places out there. And I think we should be, we deserve better out there in Finley and Sipico than what they give us. Why take it to us? Other places you can take it over the mountain, Vestable or somewhere where they live at. Don't always bring it to us. And that's all I want to say. I'm just not for it, but it's not a good, I'm just one person. So I can't tell you what to do.
Thank you. State your name and address.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ronald Jackson. I'm Executive Director of Citizens for Better Schools and Sustainable Communities, a public policy research and advocacy organization. I'm here to speak in opposition to this request. President Obama will be here tomorrow. He's going to talk about Thursday, and he'll be here to talk about sustainable community education and environmental justice. The United States Environmental Protection Agency, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, all have as a part of their mission under NEPA, the National Environmental Protection Act, environmental justice. This matter before you today is a matter of environmental justice. The question is asked previously, why here? I will tell you why here. Because it is part and parcel of the history of environmental injustice in this country. Look around where these type facilities are located, and you will find these kinds of demographics they share in common. They are poor communities, relatively speaking. They are predominantly African American, Hispanic. And these industries site their facilities in these kinds of environmental justice communities. Get them familiar with an EJC, and environmental justice community. It is interesting to know that I am given to understand, and I will stand to be corrected, that perhaps this council Public Safety Committee has not accepted this matter and chooses to reject it. Additionally, I don't know what committee of the city council may handle environmental matters, but I would suggest that if you have one, it needs to be, this item, needs to be referred there. Further, I would recommend to council and mayor that this matter, if you don't vote it down today, be carried over so that an environmental impact study of this facility as proposed can be made. The cumulative effect of the kinds of emissions a lead smelting effect can have on a community is devastating. It could cause cancer, asthma, and in fact, asthma is one of the leading causes of children missing schools in this country. There's a recent study done by EPA that talks about the
Mr. Jackson, that's your time. Can you just kind of wrap it up?
Yes, I'm going to wrap it up real quick for you right now. This effect of cancer-causing emissions, has this council received an environmental impact study on this as yet? You would be remiss not to do so. At the very least, don't rush to judgment by passing it today.
Okay, that's your time.
At least carry it over. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Name and address.
My name is Kevin Poe. I live at 121 22nd Avenue West. Now, of course, as you heard, my neighbors have said that plenty of times, of course, the health issues and all the other concerns that in the neighborhood. I'm also assistant pastor of Center Street Baptist Church, which is just a block away from Kimberling, which is now, Kimberling Truck Parts is actually right now in my back door. So if I walk out my back door, I'll be facing that. And when Kimberling was open, it was numerous robberies, shootouts. Police were over there every day, every night. It was a shooting. Somebody was trying to break in or rob. It was the rats and everything. Yes, it's true because I experienced that. It's coming over into my house. It's actually in my back door. With that being said, of course, since we've already talked about all the health issues and everything, my kids can't even play in my neighborhood because I have 18-wheelers going down my street, tearing up the yards. I can't even park on my street because I can't even park on my street because this old 18-wheeler won't come and tear up or scratch up my car. My kids can't play. It's already enough business as it is, but we don't need that. What we need to do is try to beautify a Sipco Finley. Make it beautiful. We don't need any more junkyards. Our neighborhood is already terrible enough. Of course, that's what we're trying to change. Of course, and I will be the next president of a Sipco Finley. I'm taking it up, y'all. But I will be the next president of Sipco Finley. I need to change that, and that's what I plan to change. I don't need that in my neighborhood. I don't need that around my people, around the kids that are coming up. We're trying to have positive neighborhoods for our people and for our kids. We don't want I don't want my kids growing up around drunk. I know you don't want your kids, grandkids, or any of that growing up around drunk. So please have consideration for my heart. I'm totally. If there was any other positive business, pay checks. I'm a veteran myself. Trust, I'm 24 years young. I can find a job. I don't know why any excuse for any veterans. It's not hard to find a job. The people, of course, now the problem why no veterans want to have a job because you want to crush yourself and set yourself to limitations. But anyway, please, we do not need this in North Birmingham. There's plenty of country towns, plenty of woods, everywhere else that you can put somewhere else. Put something positive, uplifting for Birmingham. Because I thought that's what Birmingham was supposed to be all about, right? Thank you.
Thank you. That's your time.
Morning.
Pull your mic down, please. State your name and
morning.
address.
My name is Catherine, bear with me. My name is Catherine Evans, and I live at 9 22nd Avenue West. I, too, just like him, I can come out my back door and go across the street to Kimberly. And I think addresses might need to be checked because some people that's here don't live in our community. And they're speaking, they voted in our neighborhood meeting, that it was voted down. But they voted in our neighborhood for it, those that voted for it. And they're not members of our neighborhood. I can't go to Thomas and no Birmingham and vote, and I don't think they should come to Finley, Abbott, or Sipco and vote. I'm against it because of health hazards, and I have a lot of, I have facts, and I like to state it on facts. From the health department, it's a recycling center. It brings on the pollution. It's being an industrial facility that increases traffic in the area may have an effect on local soil. And they said here that even the soil around it. Now, I noticed within the past month, I know Reva showed you pictures, where those cars and trucks wasn't there a month ago. I noticed a lot of traffic in the neighborhood lately because it's right in my back door. And I noticed now, I look over there and I was telling the neighbors, I said, look at all the cars over there. Where they come from? And I guess that's the show to take pictures of. Maybe already starting something over there, I don't know. But I have information, I have facts of what happened in North Birmingham. We don't want that to happen over here with us. And I have facts from OSHA, you know, they're saying that even your surrounding area, it brings mosquitoes, it brings rodents, and you know, when you have rats, and it brings snakes in the neighborhood. We already haven't, since all that happened, we have police report where snakes, all kind of snakes are in the neighborhood. So we don't need that. And I have grandkids. I don't not only live there, I have grandkids that live in the community. And I love people. And we're supposed to love God with all our heart, mind, and soul, and our neighbor as thyself. You know, I talked with some of the ones that have voted for it, and one of them said, well, it's not in my back door. But it is in my back door. And I pray that you all consider that and consider all of us, because we live over there. I remember they had a voting one time that we couldn't vote because it was on a certain street. I don't think people that live further down, even though they part of Sipco, should vote for it when they're not going to be affected. But like I told them, wind blows, and they could blow it over there to them. And another thing, this is similar to what's happened in Ferguson in a way, because if all these recycling people come here and this is giving people cancer and giving people all kind of diseases, it's the same thing. It's just like you are pulling a gun on them. So I don't think that we need that. And I hope that you all vote no.
Okay, and that's your time. Thank you.
And
I'm Henrietta Tripp, live at 1200 Finley Avenue North.
Pull your mic up.
I just want to,
And give me your address, please.
1200 Finley Avenue North.
Okay.
That's Birmingham. I just want to show you some pictures. I don't want to just reiterate what has been said. But this is what we dealt with with Mr. Kimberly Company in 12 or more years, and we finally end up in court, and of course, the court was on our side and saw the hazardousness that we have had to tolerate for so many years. It's cleaned up, it's still being cleaned up, they're getting this away. And so we really don't want any more of this in our neighborhood. You start it again, and then someone else coming and someone else. So we just don't want that. And we're trying to build, we're working the State Highway Department. I talked with them the other day, and so the plan they have in the Boulevard is in our favor. And we are looking and wanting and talking with the farmers market. We really want a food court out there, and we would like to have something like a bicycle shop, motorcycle, parts of cars, and things that will be a decent business as opposed to something that's just ugly and don't look good in our neighborhood when we are trying to improve it, so you see what it did look like, so we just want to move that out and keep it out. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next person.
Good afternoon. I'm Jimmy Coleman at 28, excuse me, that's my other business, 2008, 35th Avenue North, Birmingham, 35207. I'm also president of North Birmingham Neighborhood and also president of North Birmingham Community. A lot of times people don't understand the difference between a neighborhood and a community. Everyone want to come up and say they're a community, but no, you have to be in a community to make, in a neighborhood to make the community. It takes 6 neighborhoods in North Birmingham to make the community up. Ms. Tripp was showing you some pictures about all these old junk dealers that come in, and if you want to drive up 65 going north, just before you get to the Slossfield Center, just look to your right and look at that junk they got out there on that interstate. And you want the president to ride through here and the governor and mayors to come to Birmingham and look at that mess over there. We made some mistakes, Ms. Abbott, but we want to try to correct some of them now. I know I voted for some of the people to have their recycling places, but they was back in the back. It wasn't in the area where anyone was living, and they are showing us that they're doing a great job because there was already a recycling place. And if you look at any of this junk here, Mr. Patton, know we in court now with the same man that owns all this mess here out in North Birmingham on 29th Avenue and 22nd Street. The same man that we in court with him now. We can't find him. He done disappeared. I showed this to one of the council person one evening we had the meeting here, and that person just took it and pushed it out of the side, out the way. But I'd like to ask that council if she's still here, will she have this junk in her neighborhood? I don't want it in my neighborhood. And I don't want to be mean, I just want to let you know that's a fact. And I know the mayor understands that we're tired of every time someone want to recycle or dump junk in North Birmingham, they come to North Birmingham. We got 19 junkyards in North Birmingham, 19 junkyards, and we're tired. We're tired. My daddy died from cancer and prostate cancer because of working at Jim Walter, inhaling all that smoke and stuff. Not to say that that's what he want to do is melt something, but we got to realize that we want to live too. I'm a disabled veteran, a Vietnam veteran, been to Vietnam twice, but that's not keeping me from getting a job. I retired from Alabama Power, but that didn't keep me from getting a job. I don't use the excuse. But I think what we need to do is just realize that let's not let my neighborhood look like this. This is my neighborhood. And I've been president out there now 32 years, Ms. Abbott. And we're trying to do better. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, is there anyone from council? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
My name is Lily Berry. I live at 1125 John J. Egan Drive. And I would like to say that I have asthma, and I breathe a lot of pollution now. And I really, really don't need to breathe anymore. That's all I have to say, and I'm against it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any member from council would like to speak to this issue?
Council.
I can't see names, so Council President, I'm gonna need.
I'll switch.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me say this, and before I even make certain comments, let me give this precursor by saying I'm not going to accuse anyone of anything. This is just my humble opinion, okay? The whole time you all were talking, and I want to be sensitive in this regard because I know that Mr. Parker is sitting next to me. All I could hear was Ms. Parker used to whisper to me when junkyards would come up, why they always want to put that in our neighborhood. That's all I could keep hearing in my ear. Anytime you have someone, and my father at one time lived in Hooper City. I know this is not Hooper City, but it's in North Birmingham. and you have one of your senior members, and that's, at first, when she was talking, I thought she was for it. And then she said, I oppose it, to the sweetheart that's in the back with the purple on. And I said, anytime someone has been in the community that long, I don't know your last name, ma'am, but anytime someone has been in the community that long and they don't agree with it, you did not, okay. Well, then I misunderstood you, ma'am. Okay, it's not a problem. But let me just,
Council Scales.
yes.
Please, let's not make comments out loud. I know you want to correct yourself, ma'am, but please let respect the council at this time. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Council
Okay.
Scales.
Because then if that be the case, actually, several of us was up here saying, I thought she wasn't, she was for it, and I guess not. So I know I didn't, one thing I'm good at doing is hearing, okay? But I will say this. There has been a wrong against North Birmingham. We know that. There's been a lawsuit. I'm not talking about the lawsuit you all talked about today, but there's been an environmental lawsuit that has gone on in North Birmingham for several years now, okay? And I think it's just about time that we right the wrong. People still live there. And I have to be honest and tell you, and again, I'm giving this precursor because I don't know if this is the case, but when I hear job, and then when I hear here's the former business owner supporting it, see, all that sounds like a business transaction to me. That's just the way I'm hearing, okay? But you got to remember that there are people that live in that neighborhood. If they say they don't want it, why would you try to force your business in a community that don't want you there? That's the part that I don't get. I reserve my other comments, Mr. President, and I'll hear everyone out, but I can tell you up front, if it were in my district, and I know that we paid for a comprehensive land use plan, you see development going on in other communities.
Council, that's 3 minutes. That's
Okay.
3 minutes.
I'll wait.
Okay. all right,
Yes.
Thank you. Anyone else?
My name is,
Okay. I can't see the name.
I twisted to you. You can't see it still?
No,
Okay, I'll switch it back.
well,
Okay.
I wanted to ask if Mr. Rather would come back up. I have a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is your or this property that you want to put your business on, what is it zoned?
M2.
It's M2 heavy industrial?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the kind of recycling you're going to be doing, are you going to be melting anything or
No, ma'am.
dealing with fluids
The
or?
packet that I included there with my business plan, it's from the city of Birmingham. It shows what you can and cannot do. And part of the provisions included in that document state there is no melting of any metals whatsoever allowed. It's via the city ordinances. You can't do it under the junk dealer's license. The junk dealer's license does not allow you. The process is called smelting. There is no smelting allowed whatsoever. And
Okay, so
there are no emissions.
What kinds of items are you going to be recycling at your place? What will be coming there?
Brass.
And how will it get there?
Typically, it comes from what we call peddlers. Peddlers are individuals that would bring, items that they may have. It could be UBC, which is used beverage cans, aluminum, copper, brass, old wire. But anything that we get, all we do with it is segregate it and put it into the appropriate similar piles and resell it. We don't do anything other than, you saw in these pictures of the bundles, just bundle it, and it just straps up like pine straw bales. And we sell it like that. I'm sympathetic to anybody that has any kind of, respiratory stuff and all that, but we don't do anything that would create any emissions at all. It's not allowed by the laws that are set forth from the city of Birmingham for the license that I'm seeking. And that's a totally different business. Like if I have aluminum that I purchase, I would sell it to somebody like Birmco. And Birmco is a business here in Birmingham that smelts, and they melt it. It's not me. I don't do any of that.
Okay, so are you going to be taking any junk cars or anything
If we purchase a car, there are provisions that are set forth where we have to enter in the VIN numbers to make sure that they're not stolen. And what we do is we have a process where we put the car up on a rack take all of the fluids out, the oil, the antifreeze, radiator fluid, et cetera, and we resell that to ProClean. It's a company in Dolomite. And so none of that, and that's, and once again, cars are a very, very small percentage of the things that we do. Typically, the things that we get are brass, copper, aluminum, wire, and like I mentioned before, computers. We're recycling lots of computers, like the computer that's sitting right there. We get those and we package them, put them in boxes, and resell them. There are no emissions. Now, we do not buy any plastics. We do not buy any glass. We do not buy any garbage or any paper products whatsoever.
Okay, and are you gonna be cutting things up?
No, ma'am. The only thing, a baler is a machine that it's called a 2-ram baler, and all it does is just get something and smash it into smaller parts. That's it. It's a better way of crunching it. That's all that it does. But
Council, that's your time, unless you want to suspend the rules, sir.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm fine. I just wanted my questions answered.
Okay.
Because we've heard a variety of
Certainly.
complaints that,
Okay.
some of which seem not to be.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. All right, second time for Ms. Scales.
Okay, thank you, because I know that'll be my last. So, with that having said then, sir, since I see the vein in which we're traveling, you said that the small percentage of your business would have to deal with cars, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
A small percentage. And you said initially that you weren't dealing with fluid, but I just heard you just say 2 minutes ago that you would have to drain the fluid from those vehicles and before you can sell the parts that are on it. Am I correct?
Well, first of all, we don't sell the parts that are on it. We sell the car as a whole.
You sell the car as a whole, but you still have to drain the fluid. That's yes or no?
What we do is we check to see if indeed if there is oil in the car, okay? And in the event, if there is, we're not required by law to do it, but what we do, because we can get paid money for the oil, we drain it and put it in 55-gallon drums and sell it in the drums like that. It prevents any opportunity for oil to enter into the soil.
Because, see, I only have just a few minutes.
I understand.
And I'm going to use it well. That's why I asked you yes or no. Are you draining the fluid from the car?
Into barrels.
That's yes or no.
Yes.
I don't care what you're draining it into, yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we on the record as saying, yes, you do drain the fluid from the car, and it goes to another company that handles the fluid that is then, if fluid is found to be in the car, that then is sold to that company, and it is money that your company has as a revenue. Is that yes or no?
It's basically a wash, but we do it so we can keep environmental at the forefront, because we don't make any money basically off of the oil. We make enough to justify taking it out of the cars.
Okay. Sir, you going to help me to help you.
I understand. I'm just trying to be
The answer
clear.
is just yes or no,
Okay.
as respectfully as I can ask that, okay?
Okay.
Here's the other thing. In terms of the brass or whatever that is brought to your company,
Mhm.
you said it comes from peddlers. I found that to be a very interesting term.
Mhm.
So, do you all buy from, I guess the nicest way to say it is this stolen? And what measures do you have in place to ensure that whatever that's brought to your company is not stolen from some nearby church that we had problems with before, or any place else? That's a yes or no. Do you have something in place for that?
Well, yes, we do. It's state laws you have to have in place. You have to take a driver's license and put it in a scanner. And in
Okay.
addition to that, if copper is brought, they have to receive a check. And if it's over $50 worth of copper, they have to present a
Okay.
dealer's license,
Okay.
knowing that they deal in that particular
Okay.
business.
All right, so with that said, I'm not gonna ask any more questions. Mr. Chair, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm in agreement with this neighborhood. We'll never make the wrong, make the wrong right until we start making better choices. And I can just tell you, it don't pass the smell test with me. However other folk vote, that's on them. But I can tell you this much. Certain places, we wouldn't even have a thought of taking this in the neighborhood, because we know the first thing you'll hear, well, the comprehensive land use plan, that doesn't follow with that. That just means that you represent junk, and they don't want junk in their neighborhood either. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Anyone else, Mr. President? Oh, Mr. London.
As the counselor for District 9, with which this applicant is seeking application, I want to speak about the ongoing fight that North Birmingham community is facing with the Superfund. Superfund deals with pollution of varying types. You know, pollution is the introduction of contaminants into the natural environment that cause adverse change. Pollution can take the form of chemical substances or energy, such as noise, heat, or light. Pollutants, the components of pollution, can either be foreign substances or energies naturally occurring as contaminants. You know, North Birmingham has been the source of pollution for generations. And it is this councilor's opinion that we should cease and desist on introducing new pollutants to the North Birmingham community. We currently are working with the EPA to highlight 3 of the neighborhoods out of the 6 in North Birmingham. Why would we, in doing so, introduce a brand new pollutant into a community that's already bombarded with pollutants? And as I've said, pollutants can be noise, they can be litter, they can be varying types. So I understand that the legal department wants to weigh in on this, but I want to go on record before they do as saying that I stand with those who oppose this opportunity because of the fact that we are introducing a form of pollutant into our community. Many have articulated their positions, and I will respect their opinions. We agree to disagree. But when it comes to North Birmingham community, I stand for the people who can't stand for themselves. I stand for the folks who elected me to make a decision based on my core values and my belief. And my belief is that right now, this is not what North Birmingham needs. Now, I understand that the applicant claimed Birmingham, but last time I checked, Vestavia Road wasn't in Birmingham. So I would implore that we look at this opportunity in Vestavia. You might want to do this closer to your home, but I live in Pratt. I live in District 9, and as for me and my family, we don't want another pollutant in District 9. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, thank you, Councilor. I've not spoken, but I think it's prudent that I should, because what I do understand about the junk dealer's license, once you give a license, he's not limited to receiving railroad brasses, machinery, plumbing fixtures, building materials, part of automobiles, motorcycle, gas, electric fixtures, appliances, parts thereof, household. I mean, he's not limited. So if you pass this, then he has a right, once you do that, to entertain any of these core items that goes along with his licenses. So, and ain't nothing this neighborhood, is nothing we can do after the fact. And so I'd be interested to see what the city would offer any different than what I just read. Now, Councilor Abbott wants them to speak, but let me also share with you historically, those of us who had the privilege of being a part of Leadership Birmingham, there's a book that's written by an author who still teaches at at UAB, a renowned author, and he talks about the disenfranchised of the black and African American community with all of these manufacturing and places. These were not desired by a majority folk, but they were designed to disenfranchise and to minimize the maximum quality of life a person could experience in Birmingham. Now, this is the council who has the task and responsibility to do something different. I'm like Councilor Scales. Even though it may have been in the past, doesn't mean that it has to stay that way, and that we are charged with making this city better. You've already alluded to the fact that we are on a Superfund. We have a counselor who's becoming an expert in environmental injustices. And this is an injustice that has reigned this community for many, many years. Now, I'm not going to take part in that. Okay? I will not take part in that, because I believe I have a fiduciary responsibility to make this city better, and we're going to start with North Birmingham. Thank you. Somebody else want to say something? Because I'm about to call for the vote.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but y'all know how I feel about the neighborhood. And you know, I don't even want the drug rehab houses in West End, so you know I don't want a recycling plant.
Mr. President, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And before we have any motions, let me just say that we have received a lot of information from both sides of the issue, both those who are in support and those who oppose it. I would ask that prior to the council making a decision today on approving or denying the license, whichever way the council wants to go, that we do ask that the mayor instruct the law department to give us just some information on this issue, Mr. Mayor, so that we will be on solid footing with the city. And that is not something that we require today, because we would like that in writing. So if we could have that from them within the next 2 weeks, I would make a motion or entertain a motion to delay this item 2 weeks. The public hearing has been concluded, so if the motion, and if it does receive a motion in a second, then we will not have to, when the item comes back before us in 2 weeks, conduct another public hearing, because we've already done that. But we will have an opportunity to hear from the law department in writing, so that we'll know, so that the council and the city will be on solid footing, whichever way we go.
Okay. Mr. President?
Yes.
Yes. The law department, you know, we've been dealing with this for, I think, 4 or 5 months. The law department has been just about at every meeting that we've had publicly with respect to this. A delay, otherwise, if they got something to say, they need to say it now. But I just don't believe that it's going to be any different than what we've been asked, the questions have been asked, and the answers that have been given by Ms. Bernard and others who've come to this hearing. I just don't think we belabor this vote. I want to vote up or down, and if you offer that motion, I'm going to offer a motion that we vote it up or down, and we be done with this. And because I just believe we are doing the right thing. This council has the ability, we're the legislative body. We make a decision either for it or against, and we let the chips fall where they may. And the record that I have, since I've been going to court, circuit court, we have won. We have won, and I think we will prevail even in this matter, because it's about quality of life and versus business.
Councilor Abbott?
Yeah, Mr. President, you know, the law doesn't have anything to do with logic, and it doesn't have anything to do with emotions. It doesn't have anything to do with how much we care about people's opinions. The law controls us, because the decision we make on this day is, if we make it from emotion, we go right across the park here and we lose. So I'm in favor of a 2-week delay so we can hear from the law department. We know that the property's zoned for this business, so that puts us at a disadvantage to start with. And I think we need to hear from our law department. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to attend Mr. Hoyt's meetings, and I really don't know as much about this as I would like to. So I'm in favor of a 2-week delay.
Have a motion?
I move that we have a 2-week delay to hear from the law department concerning this issue.
Okay, point of order, Mr.
You have
President.
a second?
Point of order, Mr. President. Because,
What's your question?
okay, you just heard the chair, and you saying that if they're not offering any new information, my concern would be the people who have come here today, whether they be for or against, are these people able to be here again when the law department publicly renders their decision?
The law department, Counselor, is not rendering a decision. That's left up to the council. What we are asking from the law department is just to make sure that whatever decision we make, we are on solid legal
Okay,
footing.
well,
And so there will
then,
not be
Mr.
another,
President,
Counsel,
whatever
there will not be
recommendation.
another public hearing, and all we want is to hear from the law department, and then we'll be able to make a good
Okay, but here's what
decision.
I'm saying, with all due respect, Mr. President, if you
Do I
don't
still
mind.
have this in my committee now?
Still in your committee.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I want to call the law department up and let them say
Well,
something.
Counsel, you've already turned it back over
I have
to
not.
me. You've already done
I
that.
did not. I did not. We can reverse the tape, but I've not turned it back
Counselor,
over.
you've already turned it over.
I asked you, you
Do
said
we
you
have a
wanted to
second
speak.
on the motion to delay for 2
Mr.
weeks?
President, but I wasn't finished.
There's a motion and a
Okay,
second
but I
on
was
the floor.
speaking to the motion though, Mr. President.
Continue.
With all due respect.
Go ahead.
I am saying this is a public hearing. Whatever recommendation that the law department has, we vote on these public hearings all the time. Today is not foreign that this was gonna be on the agenda. So if they had a recommendation, it should have been attached today for today's decision. I'm only asking, speaking to the motion, and I am looking at the city attorney, okay? And with the permission of Mr. Mayor, okay? That if you don't have anything to offer, because according to what I'm reading, item 6 says denial by the Public Safety Committee. So if you don't have anything, or do you have anything different to recommend that you haven't already in the past? Otherwise, why are we delaying the item?
Thank you, Counsel. There's a motion on the floor. Do we have any substitute motions?
Yes.
I didn't get my question answered.
Yes, my motion would be.
The law department will not be recognized. Do we have a
President.
motion?
Yes, my
Substitute
motion, substitute motion would be to vote this up or down.
Okay,
Second.
the first,
I need
Mr. Clerk?
some help. We need to do the main motion first. We never got that on the floor. Let me back up a minute. Let's do that first.
the
Let's
main
just-
motion,
To pass the item,
Right.
deal with, then we can do it.
that's right. The main motion was
I didn't
brought
get
at the
the,
very
who made
beginning,
it?
I believe. And who did it? Was it Roberson and,
We never got it.
okay. Do we have a main motion?
Yes, move the item.
Second.
All right, thank you.
Counselor Abbott, your motion again?
Yeah, my motion was just for a 2-week delay to hear from the law department.
Do we have a second?
All right.
All right.
We have a
There's
substitute motion, Mr.
Counselor Hoyt,
President,
go ahead.
That doesn't work.
that we voted up or down.
Second.
That's not
Okay,
proper.
That's not, that is improper,
Robert's
Counselor
rules of
Hoyt.
order.
Hold on just a second.
Okay.
That's improper because
Okay.
the first
You
motion
offer the
is,
substitute, okay, I
yes.
agree with that.
yeah. So if this does not pass, then we'll go back to the main motion.
Main motion.
2 weeks, okay.
2-week delay. To the motion, yes.
Okay.
Put on.
Actually, it has been in committee a number of times, and there's been a number of questions that have come up even since it moved out of committee. Was it last Monday? Or this past Monday?
Last Monday.
Last Monday is when it moved out of committee. And I was actually anticipating that there would be an executive session called on this to discuss the items that have been brought pertaining to questions that have been asked. But I would rather let the law department finish their research and get us a full explanation before we make a decision. And that's why when you stated, Counselor Scales, about additional information, that there could be some additional information, I just want to get receipt of that information before I make a final decision.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, we're ready to vote on the 2-week delay.
All right, 2 weeks, the motion and the vote should be open. Who am I missing? Councilman Parker. Okay, that vote should be up.
All right, that delay fails. So the main motion is before us. Counselor Scales, do you still want to hear from the law department now?
Oh, no, sir, I'm ready to vote.
Okay. We're ready to vote, Mr. Clerk.
All right, voting should be open.
This is to approve it.
That's correct.
To
Yes.
approve?
Yes.
Yeah, so you need to vote
So you
no.
vote yes or no? This is to approve the application. If you vote yes, then you're voting in favor of the application.
That is correct. To approve the application.
I mean, by change, you have me as no, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have you for anything. Oh, you can't change it?
I don't know, it's up here, but.
Okay, okay, I got it. Councilor Abbott. Okay, thanks. That vote should be up.
That item fails. Next item.
Where would you like to go?
Just the next item. I
Okay,
think it was
item
the one
12
that's
has been
being
withdrawn.
Mhm.
And then next should be item 14.
Which one?
Item 14.
Yes.
An ordinance to amend and replace ordinance number 15-37 due to a clerical error in section 3 of the ordinance, and to adopt a new ordinance to establish a tax tribunal and its administrator, a hearing officer to hear City of Birmingham tax appeals, and resolve disputes between taxpayers and City of Birmingham as authorized by the Alabama Code of 1975, Title 40, Chapter 2B, and we need UC to try to pass it today. First vote needs to be unanimous consent.
Okay.
To get it
we have
before you.
a mover and a second, and this will need to
Move
be.
the item, Mr. President.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
All right, we have a motion on the item again. Just move it.
Move the item.
All right. Do we have any speakers to this item?
Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Parker.
Thank you.
You have any speakers? All right, we're ready to vote, Mr. Clerk.
All right, voting should be open now. Councilor Hoyt, Rafferty, Tyson. Councilor Hoyt. Councilor Tyson. Councilor Hoyt.
Yes, it's just a change.
Okay.
It's
All right, that vote should be up.
That item passes. Next item.
Should be item number 30. It's been withdrawn.
Yep.
And next should be
41.
41.
Yep.
Item 41, a resolution approving payment to Enterprise Holdings for the rental of 8 sport utility vehicles for 5 days in the amount of $4,413.20 for the Human Rights Conference and Cities for Service events, March 6, 2015, in accordance with Section 3-1-7 of the Birmingham City Code.
You have a mover and a second?
I move approval.
You have a second? I'll second it. All right, do we have any speakers to this item?
Yeah.
Councilor Scales?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President, for pressing the reset button so we can start again. Okay, was this item already approved or not, before this conference took place about this particular, those items in question, or was it something that came up after the fact, if you don't mind me asking, Mr. President, do you know?
I think I'll defer to the chair. I don't remember. We talked about this in Budget and Finance on Monday. What was it?
Yeah, we just passed it on Monday, so obviously the event was held before we heard about it.
Yeah, so that was my question. question. So I see that there is a line item for it, and if you don't mind me asking Madam Chair, because I'm not trying to pretend I know if I don't, what is that coming out of? I know we see a reference number there, but what is that out of economic development incentives, or what is this being paid out of?
You would have to ask the finance department about all those little budget codes. They mean absolutely nothing to me.
You know, Mr. Pat? Because I see where it says appropriated for in FY 2015, unless Chaz know or someone that can help us. And if we could table this item, if you don't mind, Mr. President, I'm just trying to figure out, what is this coming out of? I don't necessarily like it, and I'll do the Miss Abbott and hold my nose, but I don't wanna hold my nose, but I don't know where the money coming from.
Why don't we let Mr. Bernie come in and explain it?
Okay. All right, thank you,
All right,
Mr. President.
so you want to table it?
If you
Yep.
don't mind, sir.
Hold on, Chaz?
Just, what was your question again?
She
I was
want-
asking, if you look at item 41, it has budget, and then there is a number.
Yeah.
And my question is, what does that represent? Is that?
That GL account number is in reference to the mayor's office. That's coming out.
But what line item is that under
That's-
economic development and centers? What is that?
No, that's just their GL account for equipment rental.
So this was already in the budget?
Yes, it's in the mayor's budget for equipment rental.
So you still want to table, Young? We good?
No. Because he's answered it. My thing was, I just wanted to make sure, where was it coming from? Are we taking?
I don't think your mic is on. I don't think your mic is on.
What is it? Okay, I'm sorry. What I was saying is that I was just trying to find out exactly what account was that being taken out of, because while I may not necessarily like it, because we're dealing with it post the fact, and I hope that we will receive the same consideration, because I will set this in my mind as a precedent, okay, Mr. Mitchell? And so, as long as the mayor got money
Yeah.
that's already in the budget to pay for it, then when we have things in the budget, I know that Mr. Patton and the mayor will oblige.
Yes, just for clarification,
Thank you,
that is
Mr.
coming out of the
President.
mayor's office budget. It's already budgeted.
As long as it's already in the budget, yes, sir.
All right, Councilor Abbott, did you have any?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that this was recommended by Budget and Finance. It doesn't say that, but it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Clerk, we're ready to vote.
Voting should be open. Pro Tem Rowe, thank you. That vote should be up. Sure.
That item passes. That next item,
Addendum item 52.
no, we don't have an addendum item. I don't know who printed that, but I did not accept any addendum item.
Okay.
But we do have 3 travel, items. One is for, we did approve the addendum item in Budget and Finance, but we asked them to put it on the agenda for next week.
No, we asked them to put it on, we agreed for it to be put on
We-
tonight.
I just said if you wanted it to.
Yeah, we agreed to, remember they said it was gonna cost the city more money the more we delayed it? And
Well, we can still take it up.
Yeah,
But
we
let's do this,
agreed to it.
travel. For, you have it, Mr. Clerk?
Mm-hmm.
The Shanae Edens Bennett.
No, I'm sorry, it's something different.
Would you like me to read it?
No, sir, I don't.
All right. This travel resolution for Shanae Edens Bennett, Chief Administrative Assistant, Park and Recreation, Prattville, Alabama, $221.72, March 26th through 28th, 2015, to attend the City Council retreat. Kevin W. Moore, Director, Park and Recreation, Prattville, Alabama, $106.72, March 26th through 28th, 2015, to attend the City Council retreat. And Stanley Robinson, Public Relations Coordinator, Park and Recreation, Prattville, Alabama, $221.72, March 26th through 28th, to attend the City Council retreat. I move the item.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Move the resolution.
I oppose it.
Second.
If if you see,
It's unanimous consent to bring it before us. Do you oppose the UC?
Oh, no, you can bring it before
Right.
you.
okay, she's
I'm
change your
sorry.
vote.
Yeah, change
Okay.
my vote.
All right.
I'm
All
sorry.
right, move the resolution.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No, from Councilor Abbott.
Okay.
All right, that item passes. We have, you wanted to vote no, right?
Yeah, I wanted to vote no, but I wanted to let y'all vote yes,
Yeah.
if you wanted to. If you so desired.
Bless you. The next, if the council is wanting to take up this item, there was an addendum item that was being requested to be submitted, but again, I didn't approve it. But if you want to do the addendum,
Yeah,
that's fine.
we
So,
said
Mr.
we
Clerk,
would do it
the
at
addendum.
committee.
Okay. Item 52, a resolution requesting the mayor implement the council's recommendation to send a total of 30 people to the NUSA conference to be held May the 20th through the 23rd, 2015 in Houston, Texas, and the proposed selection process.
Mr. President, I move approval.
All right. The addendum is before us, and just so the council members know what we're voting on, right now it's recommended that we send a total of 30, to the NUSA conference. And so if there are any,
I'd like to speak to the motion.
Right,
Mr.
go ahead.
President. And we have been dealing with this and talked about this since I have been on the Birmingham City Council. And educational opportunities for our constituents, especially our neighborhood officers, are very important. I think there are meetings that take place at NUSA that gives our neighborhood leadership the opportunity to understand what they can do to help build their quality of life in their community, in their neighborhood. It also exposes them to networking opportunities with other cities and city leaders in other communities throughout this country. And I have always supported 99 representatives to attend a NUSA conference, one for every neighborhood in the city of Birmingham. And I continue to say, and will continue to say, that's the best thing we should do for our leaderships and our officers in the city of Birmingham with the neighborhood associations. So, to that being said, Councilor Abbott, under your leadership with the Budget and Finance Committee, I would hope that we can come up with an ordinance moving forward and discuss this within Committee of the Whole, Mr. President, to provide an opportunity every year for all 99 neighborhoods to be represented at NUSA. And this is their one opportunity to get all the information, education they can possible to help out your neighborhood. So I am not for 30 going, I'm for 99 going. So if it's in order, Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to amend, you guys speak to amend the item? You know, let us, well, go ahead, we'll let Councilor
we have
Scales
some
go.
speakers, then we'll take motion.
All right.
Mr.
Go ahead,
President,
Councilor Scales.
do you mind, sir, if I see that Ms. Purdue is in the audience, because I have a question, because I noticed she was making a presentation yesterday, but with Mr. Patton's approval, can we get Ms. Purdue up right quick? I'd just like to ask her a question or two. Do you mind, Mr. Patton?
Go ahead. Mr.
He's
Patton?
such a great choir director. I love him. So, Ms. Purdue, I didn't have the pleasure of listening to your presentation yesterday. What is the recommendation from your department in terms of how many neighborhood officers should go? Because it seems like, I've been here 5 years, we talk about it every year.
I know. The recommendation that we made was for one person per neighborhood.
Okay.
And that being said, as I explained yesterday, it's very rare that every neighborhood will send a representative. A lot of them may not even have the money to send a representative, but we like to give them the opportunity. When we do it as a community, it just makes our job harder, because you have at least 5 to 6 neighborhoods in each community, and you have each neighborhood trying to get together to decide which person they want to send. Well, if it's in my neighborhood, I want my person to go. So I'm not saying that 99 people, and chances are they never will be, but it's just easier. And we want to at least give them the opportunity to send one person per neighborhood.
Well, and thank you, Ms. Purdue. Let me just say this for the record, and this is not being political at all for me. I do believe in equal opportunity. If the neighborhood has the money, I certainly don't want to deny the opportunity, because I'm not going to let a neighborhood officer, even though I have some beautiful folk that are very interesting to me, but I'm not going to let a neighborhood officer tell me as a council member if there is an opportunity granted for me to be a more effective, impactful leader for their sake. to deny at least the access. And I think we have to be very cautious, in my humble opinion. I'm not talking about as a council, but just as people. I think we're so into trying to, they've already gone from $10,000 to $2,000. They don't get paid. When we have neighborhood cleanups, they got to try to organize it and then try to use some of their funds for other stuff. So I'm just going to say this. I'm going to go on the record, and I'm hoping, I agree with you, Mr. Pro Tem, that I'm hoping that what will happen, we deal with this thing once and for all, because I just noticed that this keeps being a bone of contention, but it always gives the appearance that it's the council versus the neighborhood officers. And the neighborhood officers are more likely to see a council member than they are the administration. And that's because of the fact the mayor has 99 neighborhoods versus you have however many in your district. So I don't want to deny nobody the opportunity. If you got the money and your folk want to send you, they believe that you can be able to bring some good information back, then do so. And if we're going to deny or at least bring this to some type of number, then we need to be looking at alternatives, how we're going to still be able to provide the information to all of the neighborhood officers. But until we do that, I don't think you just cut your nose to smite your face. So nevertheless, I will be in support of, I'm going to vote no on this today, because people have always tried to make it seem like they didn't understand where I'm coming from, and I'm very articulate. Bottom line, you got the money, your folk want to send you, I said, let's go. But I'm not going to vote on this 30 and deny folk the opportunity. If the neighborhood wants the folk in their neighborhood, at least one, you're not talking about two, just one to attend. So I hear you, Ms. Pro Tem, and I got you. I got that. I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Scales. Councilor Tyson, to the motion.
Can we amend this, what we have?
I think at the proper time,
99.
we can do that for consideration and take a motion at that time.
Because we go over this every.
I still have one other councilor who wants to speak to the motion. Are you done, Councilor Tyson? Okay. Councilor Abbott?
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to say that at one time, well, first of all, the committee that is supposed to make the recommendation for a resolution concerning this so that we don't have a big squabble every year is the administration committee, and they've agreed to take that up. I know at one time there was a requirement that people who went to NUSA provide a written report and train their neighborhood on what they learned. I think some people did that, and some people just never got around to it. So I think that those things are things that should be part of this, whatever we decide our policy is going to be, that there be some requirements that if you go on the public dime, you come back and teach other people what you learned, or at least provide the information to other people, because the whole idea of going is not for you to have a good time and a vacation. It is to learn something that will benefit the city of Birmingham, something you can use when you get home to make your neighborhood, or maybe you want to come over and make my neighborhood better. I'll take that. But the idea of just going on a trip, we need to come back and do things to improve our city, to clean it up, to fix it up, to come up with ideas to make this a place that people want to live. So I think that that needs to be part of our policy when we get our policy going, is that there be a requirement to provide a written report on the things you learn, but also to come back and train other people. Maybe that could be something we could use for our local conference, is to allow people who went to NUSA to come back and train, or maybe in teams to come back and train the people who didn't go on what they learned and what they gleaned from the trip. So I just wanted to throw that in, because I think that, it needs to be a team effort of everybody working together to try to improve the city.
Councilor Scales, your second time.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very quickly before we call for the question, I would say, and I learned from my first time of being a council member not to use the word admonish, but I will say we must be very careful the words that we use about vacations and so forth. And the reason why I say that is because, and you have the freedom of speech, Councilor, because I respect you. The reason why I say that is because council members have been accused of the same. And I'll be very honest with you. When I go, I work like a four-legged animal, okay? And that's why I be waiting to hurry up and come back. So I just, I don't think that too many folk gonna have time for necessarily vacation because you sitting up in different seminars. But I do agree, Councilor Abbott, that a report should be given just so that you can be able to share it with your community and hopefully to implement what you've learned. Thank you, Mr. President, and I'm ready for you to call for the question.
Councilor Abbott, your second time.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to throw this out, and I don't think anybody on this council is any more concerned about responsible use of other people's money, which is what we're spending. So I will have to say that, that I am in favor of people going and educating themselves, but I have actually had neighborhood officers tell me, we don't get paid and we work hard, so we deserve a trip on the city's dime. Now that, to me, just flew all over me. The idea that you deserve a trip because you don't get paid. What part of the word volunteer do you not understand? Because volunteers don't get paid. And you don't get a free trip on the taxpayers' money just because you showed up and got elected by 3 people to be president. Because we all know how our neighborhood votes go. 10 people might vote in the whole neighborhood for you to be the president. So I agree with you that, I probably should not have used the word vacation, but I have heard people say we deserve a trip because we work for no pay. Well, I worked for no pay as a neighborhood officer for 19 years, and I never went to NUSA, but I went to the local conference. And I am more in favor of having a local conference where we learn, where everybody can go and learn about things we can do to improve our neighborhoods. I'm more in favor of that than making a trip anywhere. But then I'm not really highly in favor of tripping, so.
No tripping.
No tripping.
All right. Do we have a motion to amend? It sounds like we want to amend the resolution or item that's before us. So what we need to do, Mr. Clerk, if it's correct, is that someone just needs to make a motion to amend it to 99.
They need to state exactly what they want to.
But is that correct?
Yeah.
That's all I need to do? Yeah. So, Councilor Scales.
Mr. President,
okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Pro Tem. I know that's, go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to make an amendment to the resolution. Requesting mayor implement the council's recommendation, send a total of 99 people to the NUSA.
How about up to 99?
Yeah.
Okay, up to 99 people.
Second.
Wait 1 second, please.
You got it? So basically, we're
so
just
you want us-
changing the language right there.
So you want to say a total of up to 99 people?
Yes.
Okay. Up to, also included, thank you, Councilor Lundy, the NUSA board and candidates for office.
Okay, wait a minute now. You got to tell me where you want to put this in the resolution.
Right out. Well, you see on the second line, we'll change the total of 30 people to up to 99 people.
I got that.
And to include the NUSA board and candidates for office to the NUSA conference to be held May 20th to 23rd, 2015 in Houston, Texas. I call it H-Town, but
Second.
All right. There's Roberson Scales.
Roberson Scales?
Yep. So we need to move on,
The whole item is amended.
on the item as amended, so it has to be accepted as an amendment first.
We
So-
got to do the amendment first.
Right, so,
It's open.
Mr. Clerk. Councilor Abbott?
Yeah, and candidates for NUSA offices, not just candidates for office.
Yes.
right, NUSA offices, correct.
You got that, Letha? Okay. Voting is open for the amendment. Who am I missing? Councilor Abbott. Councilor Abbott. Okay, that amendment is up, and now I need to vote on the item as amended.
So you voted yes.
Okay, the item is before us
As amended.
as amended.
I need a motion on, vote on it as amended.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. President, I could make the motion to vote on the item as amended.
Second.
Who we got, Scales? All right, 1 second. All right, as amended. All right, voting should be open. Now, I'll change it. I'm just trying to hurry up. Councilmember Tyson. Yes, ma'am. All right, that vote should be up.
I was expecting it. I would have been shocked.
That item passes. Next item, as amended. Next item.
What do we got? Old, new business? Chris?
Let's go back to our presentation, Mr. Clerk.
Presentation?
Yep.
Okay.
We need to, the next one is Mrs. Gates. I think she's gone. Okay, Council Rafferty? Ms. Gates. Please state your name and address.
I'm Verna Gates, 5136 8th Avenue South in Birmingham, of course. And I'm the Executive Director of Fresh Air Family. And I want to thank Councilor Rafferty for inviting me here today. And she wanted to ask me to come and talk to y'all about a camp she's been supporting of ours called Prepared Not Scared. Fresh Air Family is a 501c3 organization. We are a nonprofit. We are all about scientific and outdoor education. Some of our signature programs include Hikes for Tykes, which starts next weekend just for young families to bring their children for biology classes. We're just finishing up Scaleback, Alabama. We work with the 28,000 people across the state who are trying to lose weight. We work with the Alabama Department of Health and Hospital Association to do this, to help folks get out with their families. And we have award-winning Gross Out Camp, which is our science camp at the Birmingham Botanical Gardens. We have that in 8 locations, and we have 9 of them at Birmingham City's own Birmingham Botanical Gardens. And Prepared Not Scared is a partnership with Sheriff Mike Hale. I'm sorry he can't be here today. He wrote us a letter, but unfortunately he had a homicide last night, so he's a little bit busy today. I started Prepared Not Scared. My main job is, for years and years, has been as a journalist. I still work part-time as a journalist. And when I was covering the Amy Bishop shooting up in North Alabama, and I've been wondering for years why people didn't know what to do when people came in with a gun. And I finally got my answer when the lady who saved most of the lives of the people who did not get shot off right off the bat pushed the shooter outside the door. She said, my father was a hunter, and we took hunting safety classes and gun safety classes. And so Sheriff Hale and I want to focus a lot on the gun safety, because I believe it was 7 children last year who got shot or killed or injured by playing with guns, and that is a center point of Prepared Not Scared, is gun safety. We also do other safety lessons like weather safety, what to do when you get lost, how to read a map. We deal with bullying, internet safety. We talk about predators. We do passive self-defense. We also make them forage for their own food and learn how to make a fishing pole out of a stick. All kinds of things to teach children how to make it no matter what happens. If they get lost, if anything happens that they need to be outside and build a shelter to save themselves from the weather, like we've had some incidences lately, of course. And I'd like to ask y'all, Councilor Rafferty is supporting some of our camps. We have 4 camps at different locations here in Jefferson County, in Ruffner Mountain, Red Mountain, Tannehill State Park, and out in Trussville. But we also are going to be going, when we finish with those camps, into the Birmingham City camps, and we'll be bringing this lesson in. Last year, we served 941 children with Prepared Not Scared and Gross Out camps. And I'd love to chat with some of y'all individually about helping us support this camp. And we would like also to extend this into the Birmingham City schools next year, because there are a lot of these lessons that kids don't know. I'm afraid if the lights go out, these kids are going to die. They don't know what to do. So we'd like to do that as well, to come in and talk to y'all about that. And we also have 400 events a year, most of them free, for families and children to come out and learn about science and other types of education, get some fresh air and exercise. And we'd also love to invite some of the 4th graders from y'all's Birmingham City schools who are science scholars to come in and do a Gross Out camp at the Botanical Gardens. We'd love to find a way to sponsor that so that we could help their education level rise up and test scores. We want to raise the test scores and lower the violence in our schools and among our youth. And I hope to ask y'all for help doing that. And thank you so much for listening to me. Verna Gates with Fresh Air Family.
Thank you. Next presentation, Councilor Lundy. Okay. Ms. Tarver from the Alabama American Ballet Theater. All right. Mr. King. Okay. And Mr. Byers, We Care Academy. All right, and then John Poor, okay. Secret stages.
Good afternoon, is it now? My name is John Poor. My address is not an actual address. My business address is, which is 1400 11th Street South, Birmingham. Did I say Nashville? That's my personal address. Birmingham, 35205. I'm here to thank you, first of all, for the support you've given Secret Stages over the last 4 years. And quickly and as succinctly as I can, I want to tell you who we are, what we've done, what our motivations are, and the things that we are planning for the future. And then, of course, I'd like to make you believe, as I do, in the benefit that we can be to this city. You should have some information in front of you. I dropped off these. They are basic packets that have basic information about us. That's sort of for your reference. I'll cover most of that information. There's also an official request letter there. So I'd like to real quickly convince you to accept that request. And basically, Secret Stages, we look at it in 3 parts. The first is the music festival. And real quickly, just to let you know what we are, we're a 2-day music festival that takes place the first weekend of August. This year it'll be July 31st and August 1st, just because of the way things fall. We have settled into a model of 60 bands. We use 6 stages. We are all concentrated in the Birmingham Historic Loft District, so you're looking at basically Morris to 2nd Avenue and 22nd to 24th Streets, where it's designed to be a walking pub crawl style music festival. And it definitely started with the idea that we wanted to enhance or be a part of what's going on in the downtown community. Big believers in vibrant downtowns and what they can do for cities, and that's a big part of what Secret Stages is about. We are a music discovery festival. What we're trying to do is go out and get bands that maybe haven't made it on the radar yet. If you're familiar at all with the music industry, it's completely changed. It's fractured. We don't all get the same music from the same places like we used to. But there are still tons of elite talent out there. And we try to bring that to Birmingham. Our goal, and where we've succeeded, is for those bands to then go on and do greater things. And we've had, I won't bore you with the names, but we've had bands that are going on to play Letterman. They're playing huge festivals like Coachella and Hangout and Bonnaroo. They're signing record labels, record deals. They're going on tour with famous names like Jackson Browne all over Europe. So this is what we're trying to bring to the table as far as the event that we host. The ways that we want to give back and the way that we see this working for the city, the way that we would hope that a city council and the mayor's office would find us of value. This new music industry is in of itself an industry. There is money to be made, and we want to bring that industry to Birmingham. A quick analogy or a quick story. Well, I'm going to lose time, so I'm going to be quick. We also work with Scrollworks. We want to bring music industry to Birmingham. We want to bring the press here. You'll find press coats and the kind of reach that we've had, which is kind of out of the Southeast already, Baltimore, Nashville, all sorts of places. We want to bring more of that here. And most importantly, we want to be a part of the education initiative. It's sort of serendipitous that we had all the kids here from the schools and what they've done, because a huge part of what we want to do, and I hate that I waited this long to bring it up, because there's most of what I wanted to say would be about. We give 20% of our profits to Scrollworks, which is a nonprofit youth music education initiative. They are working with other nonprofit music education initiatives. We are working with them to host a party the first day of the festival to get as much recruiting for them as possible, let area parents know that this is there for their kids, just like we talked about sports and what that does for an education for a young person. Music and arts, I think we would agree, have the exact same function, and we lose them quite often. Secret Stages is committed to working with organizations to improve that, not only for giving kids opportunity, people that are already playing music, we want them to feel they can get there from here. They don't got to go to some other community. And we want kids the opportunity, give them the opportunity to have instruments, books, and teachers, which is what Scrollworks does. We are working on a fundraiser for them, an instrument drive for them. We are organizing trucks and things to pick up pianos that have been donated that they can't get. And thank you for giving me a couple extra minutes. You have individual request letters in front of you. I wanted to introduce myself and be able to meet with you individually and hope that maybe some appropriations could be made from your individual discretionary funds.
Councilor Abbott?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask now, is the Secret Stages organization, are you a 501c3 not-for-profit, or are you a for-profit business?
We are not a 501c3. We're looking into changing that status as it is. We work with 501c3s closely, and we work to fundraise for those 501c3s. So I would ask any advice from the council on receiving the appropriations that we've asked for.
Okay, so you're a for-profit business? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's move to suspend the rules for our speakers.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
First speaker, Ms. Mitchell. Okay, next speaker, Mr. Hurden Jr., Senior. William Hurden? Oh, Harden? Okay. Sorry about that. State your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
My name is William Harden Jr. Good afternoon to the mayor and to the city council.
Good afternoon.
I stand before you wanting to discuss the vote that you all made in regards to the Waterworks Board vacancy. And I wanted to provide you a little background information. And if you'll bear with me, I wrote it all down so I won't take up more of your time than necessary. On November the 11th, I mailed my application for the board position. On November 21st, I received confirmation from the Office of the Council of President that my interest letter and resume was received and that I would be contacted when the interview process was to begin. On January 28th, I emailed the Office of Council President to make sure I hadn't missed any additional information in regards to the interview process. I was told again that once that process was to take place, I would be informed. On February 24th, the council voted 5-2 to appoint an individual to the board vacancy that I hadn't had opportunity to interview for. Trying to catch up on the council meeting and reading just information in regards to this particular vote because that actual portion of the meeting wasn't available online. I read the AL.com article in reference to the person essentially not even being an applicant on the list that was provided to AL. And I was curious, did he even apply? On March the 3rd, I again reached out just to confirm that, in fact, the board vacancy had been filled because I hadn't heard one way or the other in regards to that. And I received a communication essentially saying that the process occurred without interviews. From this dais, on numerous occasions, this council has asked and even pleaded with citizens to participate and engage with the city for the betterment of the city. Well, after some consideration, I decided to participate. I followed the process the council set forth in place for its citizens to participate. The actions taken by the vote on February 24th effectively denied myself and other applicants the opportunity to participate in the process, from which goes against what the council has said it wanted its citizens to do. And I have a couple questions. How can the council body knowingly move forward with announcing and requesting the citizens apply for various boards and agencies in the future if the council isn't going to follow the process they put forth for the citizens? If in the end the citizens are not allowed to complete this process, why have the process? Why not just handpick people for the various boards and agencies? I truly hope for future applicants that they are allowed the opportunity to go through the whole process. Although I would like to be appointed, I'm just asking the vote be reconsidered so that the applicants have an opportunity to complete the process they willingly wanted to participate in. And I was hoping to get some of those questions addressed.
Thank you. Council Skills?
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, let me just say this, and because I'm, it's not hidden that I had some issues in regard to it, and Mr. President, I hope throughout your tenure, me and you don't ever have to have that bone of contention to that level again. But I asked Mr. Harden to come because one of the things that was noted in the news was, and which he is a resident of District 1, more importantly, when he asked about being denied of the process. And when I shared with him how things went, obviously it's a public record, that is why he's here today, because I know that that's what was said, was that, about people who had basically been recycles, for lack of better words, of the process. But I know that Mr. Harden had never applied for a public board or agency, period, ever with the city. So I thought that at least if given the opportunity that the council, whether you voted for or against, would at least have the opportunity to hear someone that is young, innovative, want to do some things in the community and haven't been stewed by the political process. So with that having said, Mr. President, I would, be dishonest to sit here and say like, okay, he's here and I don't know why he's here. I actually encouraged him to come. Obviously, the vote has taken place, so I'm not addressing that as much as I just wanted to let him know publicly that I did say that I felt that we had missed an opportunity. I think that he needs to continue to apply. He's a very intelligent young man and not stewed or manipulated by this counselor. He has his own mind. But I do know that he can be a valuable asset, and I hope that moving forward, whatever that we have in terms of board and agency vacancies, that he and other members of the public that are not been stewed to the process, but that we will judge people accordingly. So I just wanted to say that. I'm very proud of him for coming, but I just wanted to clear that up for the record, that he was not a political recyclable, and this was his first and only time ever applying to a board or agency for the Birmingham City Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker,
Bertha Nettles.
Ms. Nettles. Ms. Nettles, please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
I will keep it at 3. I, Bertha Nettles, 572 64th Place South. I'm very happy to be here at your meeting today. And I'm here to give reference to the Public Works Department, Mr. Fincher, and to his staff. We had a neighbor on 5th Avenue and 59th Street that had a junkyard and cars on the railroad property, which had been there over 6 months. I called the police a couple of times and never were done. So when I called last week to the inspection department, the young lady worked very quick. She sent someone out to tag those cars. They were hauled off. The man was ordered to clean his backyard. And yesterday, when I was going down 5th Avenue, he was hauling his trash across the street, and he saw me, and he stopped. I stopped. I let him go across, and then I pulled on. But this morning before 8, Public Works had came out and picked up all of the trash, and I just wanted to say to Mr. Fincher and his department that they are doing a fantastic job. But, Mayor Bell, I am still sitting back waiting to see when our lot's going to get clean in our neighborhood. We've been waiting since December of 2013, the last time they was clean. Some of them are taller than me, the weeds on those lots, and we need them clean, if possible. And I just want to state one thing, that when I did go to Noosa, I brought back information to this council and presented the land bank bill. Never heard anything about it until 3 years later. If we bring it back, we never hear anything. That's the end of it. Then I noticed someone else had took it and ran with it. But I'm glad that you all did. I just want to make sure when I went to those meetings, I got information. And I want to state this, I'm still waiting for my council person to arrive with me next week, because we have a lot more cleaning up to do in the eastern area, and I will be waiting to see you. Thank you very much.
I look forward to seeing you too, Ms. Nettles. Next speaker,
Willie Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins. State your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. To the City Council, honor the mayor, and I'd like to say, read this. I am full support the neighborhood president and care for the elderly, and he busy in jobs, our community. He is fair and humble. The president was here today, fair and friendly. I would like to announce that Coach Jeff installed in the Hall of Fame. We went to Montgomery yesterday, Mr. Mayor. Steve Jefferson was inducted in the Hall of Fame. My first time, went to the Hall of Fame. My alumni went, and I'm proud of Coach Jeff. And I want to say, Coach Jeff, God continue to be with you always, and thank God for you and you inducted in the Hall of Fame. To the family and the Alumni Association, what a great job. We went down there to Montgomery. And also, Mr. Mayor, we got 3 places. I got to give you a schedule. Men of Praise, Brewer Baptist Church, Evergreen on the 4th Sunday, and then Mount Zion on the 4th Sunday. We was sharp. This is our outfit, Mr. Mayor. I'm sharp. Everybody know this.
Okay.
Ain't no cooking, Mr. Bill, but we cut up. I pray out to Bishop Al's, if I'm crazy somebody, my prayers always were here. Also, my sister's birthday coming up March the 30th. Happy birthday to my sister, London Lee Jenkins. her birthday coming up March the 30th. And alumni, we doing good thing. We going bowling for Scotland, and then we gonna have the reunion this year. Barbara Thomas, the president for our Alumni Association, and we doing great things. But I want to take my hat off for Coach Steve Jefferson, and Dustin in the Hall of Fame. And I was glad to go down there with my alumni down to Montgomery down there, and I'm proud I take my hat out to the mighty Carver Ram of the Carver High School, and I am the chaplain of the Woodard Jenkins, the chaplain of the Alumni Association. And I just want to say, you know, also my pastor gonna give me appreciation, y'all. We'll let y'all know when that gonna be, Mr. Mayor. I don't know when it gonna be, but we'll let y'all know when that gonna be.
Thank you. Next speaker,
Linda Ray.
Ms. Ray. State your name and address. You have 3 minutes.
My name is Linda Ray. I'm from 4489 Willow Street, Gardendale. I'm coming from Fresh Anointing House of Worship of Birmingham. And I would like to invite you to a day of prayer. And this would be a day of prayer for Welling Women's of War. We are inviting all the intercessors to come out, intercessor prayer warriors at Lynn Park on May the 2nd to have a national day of prayer. We know this is a magic city, but we also know that this is a very anointed city. And too many kids are dying. I'm a mother whose child was murdered, and I know too much how it feels. I did all the stop the violence. I did all the things that a mother would do to try to deter the violence in the community, only to put Band-Aids on those situations. All I know that prayer changes things. And we have several churches and volunteers and people who are coming out on that day. And I'm asking for some assistance if I can, all possible. I brought some letters in here, and I don't know if you received them or not. I gave each of the council one and the mayor. And I also just want you to just take the time out and come on that day. It's very important that because our children are dying. Too many of them are dying, and they're afraid too. And I just want, too many mothers are dying, crying, and some are dying because of what's happening to their children. And so I just ask you to come out. And please, if you did not receive a letter from me, I walked it in, just let me know so I can get you one to tell you a little about me. And I'll tell you about what we're trying to do and accomplish. And I thank you for your time and attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Frank Matthews.
Mr. Matthews.
Good evening. I'm sorry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Almost here to noon. To the mayor and this council. Don't want to take anything personally that I'm about to say, because I don't mean it any chagrin to anyone here. But I want to go on record as saying that I'm highly disappointed in the White House, because there's a contrast of two presidents as it relates to Birmingham. When a tornado hit Pratt City a few years ago, Bill Clinton came to Pratt City. Tornado hits Pratt City, President Obama goes to Tuscaloosa. Only 3 or 4 minutes by helicopter to come to Birmingham. And I'm not going to make any excuses for the president. Matter of fact, 2272 Ledgewood Lane, Birmingham, Alabama. I want to get stopped in the middle of this discourse. I don't want to hear make excuses for the president that he's the president. He can't do this. The president can go to Afghanistan anytime he wants to. He can go to Iraq anytime he wants to. And he can come to Birmingham anytime he wants to. The president could have came to Selma, Alabama on Bloody Sunday, but the White House chose to come on Saturday. What I'm saying is this. When the president was running, he came to UAB open to the public. When Bill Clinton came the last time and spoke at Birmingham Southern, some 50,000 people came, open to the public. And I want to know on record that somebody asked this president, because I think some of y'all be there. Thank God some of the students from Miles and all the bourgeois and the he-was and the rest of them who's and who's that's going to be done. Thank God that some of the Lawson State students will be there. But I'm hoping that if some of you here to tell the president that this meeting should have been open to the public. I don't understand he's going to come and talking about disadvantage and talking about predator loans. Well, he needs to loan us some of his time for the general public of Birmingham to have our children over there in a great way like they did at Birmingham Southern. Well, when Bill Clinton came, that place was just filled to the rim, to the rafters, from people all across this county, this state, to see the President of the United States of America. But then the president comes, but he can't open it up to the public. And I don't blame him, just like I don't blame him for the mess that John Lewis tried to pull down in Selma, trying to pull a march off on the 7th. When the president found out about the disunity, he decided he would come, but he would not march because he wouldn't be part of that. So I don't know who it is in the White House that's keeping the president out of Pratt City and keeping the good citizens of Birmingham holistically from coming to hear the president and put up the big albatrons, or what do they call those things? I'm upset because I get upset easy about our people sometimes because I think that he can come in the hood and do some good. Because one of the things I liked about the election of when the president was first elected, I was working for somebody else's campaign. A little boy was out there, had his pants down, and I'm about through. I said, son, I want you to vote for this candidate. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to vote for the president. He pulled his pants up that was sagging and went in there and voted for the president. So some of them same little sagging pants kids need to be able to hear this president over there at Lawson. Not Lost Sons, but Lawson. Okay? So again, if any of you happen to get your invitation to see the president, two things. Ask him to free Larry and tell him if he have any time to come back as president, not after he's over. Don't come back and want to talk to the public after you're out of there. Okay? Please do that for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Doris Sims.
Ms. Sims already spoke.
I think that's it.
That's all right. Now we're down to old and new business. Councilor Tyson.
Oh, it has an X by his name, Ronald Jackson. I see. There are actually two names with a jump.
Mr. Jackson. Go ahead, state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
My name is Ronald Jackson, 4024 Felix Avenue Southwest, in the environmental justice community of East Brownville.
Speak in the microphone, please.
Thank you. We want to thank President Obama and Mayor's office and whomever arranged to get the president to come to the city of Birmingham. I also want to thank the council for your vote rejecting the application early on, because that is an environmental justice issue. Environmental justice subsumes housing, our environment. It subsumes even payday lending, which is nothing more than another species of environmental justice. The EPA and HUD has a very good environmental justice website. Every department of the U.S. government has an environmental justice section because under NEPA, the National Environmental Policy Act, it is required. That is going to be a big concern going forward for economic development for this council to comply with those rules. That's why environmental justice is so significant. But more than that, Kimbrough Homes, Cooper Green Village, and Benjamin Green Village all sit in environmental justice zones. We hope that someone will reach out to the neighborhood councils of those housing authority communities to try to see if we can get some housing authority residents there to see their president. Of course, we will have people on the side of the road with signs encouraging the president to fight on for environmental justice, and we want to commend him for what he's done. And I will simply conclude by this. If you really want a strong economy in the city of Birmingham, use the Environmental Policy Act to stop CSX Railroad from polluting further the Southwest community. Read the studies on diesel fuel, which only 3 months ago the EPA issued new regulations about carcinogens coming from diesel fuel, idling. Those of you in Railroad Park, be aware of that. I conclude by saying to you, go online, read HUD's website for Housing and Urban Development, Environmental Protection Agency, and learn more about environmental justice. We'll be back to talk with you about that further. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
I think that's it.
All right, Councilor Tyson.
Thank you, President. We have no upcoming meetings. We had a financial freedom workshop at Greater Temple Missionary Baptist Church. Reverend Gibson is the pastor. We had a good turnout this past Sunday. We'll have a upcoming financial freedom workshop, which will be at New Pilgrim Baptist Church. Pastor James Brooks is the pastor, 708 Goldwire Place Southwest in the South Titusville neighborhood. We want to make sure that everyone get out and remember that it is a free program. For further information, you can call my office at 254-2358. Tonight at 6 p.m. at the West End Library, this is the last listening session for the Black Women's Roundtable, Women and Girls of Color, Challenges and Expanding Opportunities. We have had 12 sessions. This will be the last session. And we have also confirmed over 30 judges, elected state representatives, and county representatives, pastor wives, and professors at colleges. And we're looking to have a really good time, and we will have the results of these 12 workshops in May, the ending of May. You will have the report. I have some mayor complaints. We are still getting complaints from the residents on Green Springs Avenue because of the lights on the overpass. It's no lights. I actually went up there last night. It's not any lights there. So they are very concerned about that because we do have a senior community over there. The residents are asking the ditch to be cleaned out behind their house on 1513 Goldwire Street Southwest. They have complained about that even last year, and they still haven't gotten a response from that yet. A lot of trash was reported in the alley behind 1322 14th Avenue South. The Graymount neighborhood has requested a study done to see whether they can get sidewalks along Graymount Avenue on both sides, since they have a lot of people actually walk in the neighborhoods. You have them on one side, you don't have them on both of the sides, and I went out there today actually, and it was every bit about 40 people walking, but they have grass that they are walking on instead of the sidewalks. Also, on Lom Avenue between 6th Avenue and that underpass going by Davenport and Harris, it's people walk there all of the time, and it's no sidewalks. And they're actually walking in mud, grass. It's actually a big trail right there in front of Davenport and Harris. It's a big trail coming there. I passed by there yesterday, and you should be receiving the pictures where I took some pictures over there. And that ends my report.
Thank you. And just before I call on Councilor Abbott, this project that you were referring to on Graymount Avenue is one of the projects that I put in our first issuance of the bond referendum, so that's why you're seeing the work being done. That's going all the way down Graymount, and I know there's work to extend it and all that kind of stuff. I see Mr. Bitter shaking his head, but we're aware of it and working on it. It's just taking, it just takes time. But that's one of my top 3 projects that I identified and put in. That's why it's being done. It's just taking a while, hasn't it, Mr. Bitters? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Councilor Abbott.
Thank you, Mr. President. The next Budget and Finance Committee meeting will be Monday, April 13th, 2015 at 4 p.m. in Conference Rooms D&E. Submissions are due on or before Wednesday, April 8th, 2015. So people have some time to get their act together and turn their items in on time. The Regional Planning Commission of Greater Birmingham met last Wednesday, and there is money to be had for community projects. So I was, of course, happy to hear that, and the speaker was from ADECA, and of course they have money for community projects. So there's money out there, you just have to go get it. Neighborhood meetings, last night was 5 Points South and Crestwood South, and tonight is Redmont Park at the Botanical Gardens at 6:30. And I wanted to say, for anyone who's listening who does not attend neighborhood meetings, that, you know, we're beginning to gather up and try to determine what our top 3 projects are for the next issue of the bond issue. And so if people have ideas, we want to hear them. And that would be from anybody that lives in our various districts. All council members want to know what people want. So, but I particularly want to know now so I can start thinking about it, because 3 is not a very big number, and you're going to have to make some tough decisions and probably make some people mad. So, but it's time to get the ideas rolling, because we don't want to hear at the last minute after the due date's passed that you suddenly have a fabulous idea for some project in your community and the due date's already passed. So people start thinking about things you would like to see in the community. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And I have Councilor Hoyt's, Councilor Rafferty's announcement. First, Councilor Rafferty would like to thank Mayor Bell, Mr. Bittis, Public Works, Betez, Dennis, and the department for the repairs made to Robinson Drive. So she wanted to make sure that I made that announcement. Councilor Hoyt, his thought for the day is Proverbs 15:33, the fear of the Lord teaches a man wisdom, and humility comes before honor. He has neighborhood association meetings. Bush Hill Neighborhood Association meeting will be held on Tuesday, March 24th at 6:30 p.m. at Bush Hills Academy. The next Public Safety Committee meeting will be held on April 6, 2015 at 4 p.m. at City Hall here in the council chambers. Central Park Neighborhood, West End Community Neighborhood, and surrounding neighborhood litter control meeting will be held on Monday, March the 30th at 6 p.m. at the 5 Points West Library in the large conference room. Charles Williams, Deputy Director of Public Works, will present. Mayor Bell and Stephen Fancher, I don't know if will be there, but it's mentioned in here. And then Birmingham Public Works litter control presentation will be, there will be a discussion following with questions. Those are it for Councilor Rafferty and Hoyt's announcement. Councilor Scales.
Thank you, Mr. President. As always, I want to thank the citizens of District 1, as well as the city of Birmingham, for affording me the opportunity to be their voice. I do want to make sure that everybody knows that if you live in the Kilo Springs community, we do have a neighborhood meeting tonight. They meet at 7 p.m. at Smith Middle School, and the president is Ms. Pearlie Lawhorn. So make plans to attend that meeting. On next week will be Echo Highlands. They meet at Winewood Baptist Church on Winewood Road. That's at 7 o'clock. Also, Spring Lake Neighborhood Association, they too meet at 7 o'clock, but that is at the Springville Road Library. We do have several citizen concerns that we'd like to give over to the mayor, but before I even start that, Mr. You probably have a new title now, but Mr. Patton, I would like, if you don't mind, sir, to give over to Public Works. This, I have been asking for Ms. Oden. I know the mayor gave her the permission or the authority to meet with me, because we did seed from our PIC funds $8,000 about these neighborhood signs, and I'm a stickler about making sure that we use the taxpayers' money once those funds have been allocated. But I haven't had the wonderful opportunity to speak with her again. I know she was ill, but if you could set that up, sir, we would be eternally grateful, so we can start beautifying those signs. The money has already been transferred. In regard to those citizen concerns, on Ridgewood Circle, don't have to write it down, Mr. Minifield, with mayor's office approval, I'm gonna give it to you in writing. There are citizens who are putting leaves that are out there on the road, but it's clogging up the drain. So the rain we've been experiencing, now those drains clogged up, and then we need to have them not only clean, but in addition to that, we need to make sure that those citizens don't do that again, that they know proper protocol for how to do those kind of things. I do want to say this because I know that my time is limited. Mr. President, can you give me one more minute, Mr. President?
We have, we're about to run out of tape or time on our DVD, so you can make it quick.
Okay, so let me just say this. I am thankful to this council for going ahead today and passing the framework plan for the Northeast area, because I was a part of a neighborhood meeting last night, and we're already putting some things together. Councilor Abbott, you said it correctly. You only have 3 items to submit, and I am very much aware that we want to make sure the neighborhood officers are told the same information. You only have 3 projects, okay? And we need to start working on those things together collectively in order to submit what the citizens would like to have. So with that having said, I will be calling on the citizens of District 1 very soon so that you can participate in those meetings. As I understand it from someone else from Regional Planning Commission, will probably be about 90 days out, and then we would take it from there. Right here at 440 12th Street West, 35208 zip code, I have someone that I love very dearly called MOM. And I was about to say MOTHER, but nevertheless lives at in that block. And there is a lump in the asphalt in the road, and cars are kind of hurting themselves along that road. If you're familiar with 12th Street, that's a long road, but it has a deep dent in the road. So if that can be looked at, I would certainly appreciate it. And there is certainly no gain for me. My mother worked for a number of years before retiring. Last thing is that in regard to the president, I'm not going to defend the president. I will say this: if your mayor can't be everywhere at one time, neither can your president. But I thank God when he got to, when they talk about Pratt City, the money got there. I can't talk about whatever happened with the money, but the money got to there before anything else happened. And that's what you want. You want results at the end of the day. And I think that as citizens, we just have to be mindful that we too have a responsibility. And our responsibility is during the times when the president is not on the ballot, get out to vote. That's what's going to change in helping the president. So thank you, Mr. President Austin, and I'll give, with the permission of the mayor's office. One last thing, Mr. President. We have signs, literally, Mr. Patton, and you seem like you are as anal as I am about this. I just believe that cleanliness is so close to godliness. Going down Parkway East, Huffman Road, Old Springville Road, Carson Road, we have nothing but signs, advertising signs. That's why I keep asking for code enforcement, so that the city can start penalizing these folk for all of these signs that they got on the right-of-way that's taken away from the beautification of our community. And once we gather them up again, because Public Works has been doing a super job, but once they get them up, we don't have any enforcement, so that these folk know to stop putting your signs along the right-of-way. And they're putting so many out at one time, you can't help but to see it. So that too came up in the Huffman Neighborhood Association meeting last night. And again, I want to thank everybody for what they do. And I thank you, Mr. President, and I see you over there talking, but I really appreciate you as well, sir. And I thank you that we're friends again, that we won't fall out ever, never, and we'll disagree to agree. Isn't that right, Mr. President?
Amen.
God bless you. Thank you, sir.
I never thought that we were not friends.
Okay.
Council Parker?
All right, yes, sir. But I was about to bite you.
Council Parker?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just one brief announcement that the Park Board will be meeting next Wednesday at 9 a.m. at Legion Field. So that concludes my announcements. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Lundy?
Thank you, leadership. The Pratt City Community Outreach Meeting will be held tonight at Bethel Baptist Church, Pratt City, 1708 Spencer Avenue, where the Reverend Dr. T.L. Lewis is pastor. It happens at 5 p.m. tonight. I will be giving an update on the Pratt community, my 18-month update on what has happened under my administration, as well as we will have the commercial real estate strategy meeting. For all the residents who are excited about what's coming to Pratt City around commercial real estate, the Mayor's 9 and 9 program, all those things will be discussed at Bethel tonight between 5 and 7 p.m. I will leave after my presentation, going to the Smithfield Community Meeting tonight at 6 p.m. It will be held at JCCEO, and I'll be giving my 18-month update to the Smithfield community as well. So we look forward to seeing you there, as well as at the Pratt City Community update, as well as the commercial strategy meeting from 5 to 7 at Bethel and at 6 p.m. at JCCEO. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. President. Find my announcements. I'd like to first and foremost pass a resolution of sympathy for the Edwards family. Mr. Bill Edwards, who is a retired U.S. Marshal, passed away this last week, and our prayers are with Hetty. And I'd like to move for a resolution of sympathy at this time.
Second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Move the item.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you. And Billy, I know you are suffering, but your father was a great man. He actually played a lot of golf with me and Mr. Patton, Bill Edwards. Yeah. And with the Vulcan Group. Very good leader in our community. We're praying for you, Ms. Edwards, and the family at this time. The family hour, to my understanding, is 5 to 7 on Friday at Davenport and Harris, and the Alpha Omega service is at 6:30 p.m. He was a good brother of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Next, there is a Tarpley City neighborhood meeting that will be on this Thursday at 7. So please come out to Lawson State Community College and attend that neighborhood meeting on Thursday. I cannot find the rest of my announcements. So at this time, Mr. President, as we were talking, I will go ahead and conclude my announcements, and thank you very much.
All right, thank you. If you find them, we'll let you close out the meeting. First, I would like to announce Wahoma Neighborhood, Thursday, April 2nd, meet 6 to 7 at the East Lake Church of God in Christ. Please be reminded, council members, that we have our council retreat this Thursday, the 26th through Saturday, the 28th at the Marriott Hotel in Prattville, Alabama. Look forward to seeing you all there with the mayor and his staff. District 5 Neighborhood Officers Workshop will take place Monday, March the 30th from 6 to 8 at the IMS building on the 2nd floor located directly across from City Hall. Please RSVP to my office no later than Friday, March 27, 2015. There will be a special call administration education committee meeting on Wednesday, April 1st, 2015 at 4 p.m. in conference rooms D&E. If you have an item you'd like to be added or if you have an item you would like added to the agenda, please submit the request to my office no later than Friday, March 27, 2015. Finally, we lost a great person and a very dear friend, close friend of mine, Attorney Wendell Ivey, who passed on last Wednesday. And I would just like to offer a resolution of sympathy.
Second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Move the item.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Wendell was a very, very bright young man. He passed way too soon. He was 40 years old. He was a very good friend of mine. And in my heart, I just want to express my condolences to the family. My heart goes out to his mother and his sisters and all of his family. He will have a homegoing celebration, and I can assure you it will be a celebration tomorrow at 6th Avenue Baptist Church at 1 p.m. Tomorrow. So for those of you who all can be there, I will be presenting a resolution to Mr. Ivey's family on behalf of the council. So if you all can be there tomorrow, I would appreciate you being there. So those are my announcements. Mr. Pro Tem, you found the rest?
Yeah, I do, and also I'm glad to see I support that resolution for Attorney Ivey. He's also a brother of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and our prayers go out to his family. One announcement, Planning and Zoning Committee meeting will be today at 4:00 p.m. in the conference room D&E. We encourage all council members to come out and be a part of that meeting. We were discussing the North Birmingham framework plan in which we approved the funding for. So we're asking that all council members, especially if it impacts your district, to come to that meeting at 4:00 this afternoon. Thank you.
All right. Do we have a motion to it? Well, I do want to thank Officer Lewis, and Officer Hutchins for providing our security today. Officer Lewis, thank you so much. We have anything else to come before this committee, council? You have a motion to adjourn?
Move to
So
adjourn.
moved. Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
This meeting is adjourned.
Change it.